Good morning, everybody, and happy Tuesday. Happy final week of 2023. This is the final trading week of 2023. I hope everybody out there had a fantastic long weekend out there. Nice long 4-day weekend. That was a real nice break away from the screens. If you're with me here, either in the Discord chat or in the YouTube chat, go ahead and say what's up. Let's see who's with us this morning. We have Luna, K-Stala, Matthew, Discount, Mo Money, Wozni, Zone Scalper. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Kodak, Monk, Mickey, Bobby, Ilita, Jonathan, Doomslayer, Larry, One Man Wolfpack, Trend Friend, Midland Trader, HFX, John, Zero Cool, Grateful Trader, John again, Mike, Sammy, Trader Joe, Trader Page, G-Lines, Ray, Rob, Tim, Michael, Denise, Jim, V, Ilita, Triple T's, Trader Joe, Josh, Kevin, John, Ms. Valerie, Albert, Tim, Grounds, the Trading Lizard, Moscani, Anthony, Kyle, Tomas, Arthur, Frowls, FX, Van, Allpay, Charlie, T Hackers, Sarah Vietz. Let's do this. Hydro. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone. No trades yet for me here, folks. No trades at all. Let's see. Get the, there it is, total P&L. No trades yet for me. We have two XFAs to trade today, and as well as we do have an additional combine as well. I'm not going to be trading my live account yet. I did get the credentials for my live account, but I'm not going to be trading that yet, and here's why. I'm not going to be trading it in this final week because it's likely going to be lower volume. And so on that, I want to kind of either trade in the XFA accounts that I have or the Combine account that I have. And here's why. So we can kind of rate these accounts, right? If you are newer to trading and you've never traded before, and you're looking to be familiar with learning how to read the tape or reading the NQ or the ES or Bitcoin futures, whatever futures you're trading, right? You have your Top Step account. The cool thing about your Top Step account is they give you a practice account, right? They give you a practice account, and then Ninja Trader also has a practice account built in. I don't know about Quant Tower. I'm sure they have a practice account built in outside of the one that Top Step gives you. So you have a SIM account. Let's just talk about Ninja Trader. You have a SIM account, a practice account, a Combine account, right? That's when you first sign up with Top Step. That's what you get. So if you want to mess around, you want to kind of click buttons and make sure all of your hotkeys are working. That's when you're going to use your Sim 101 account in Ninja Trader. It has no effect on the market. The fills are not really simulated at all. It's pretty close, but not really as close as what you're going to get on trading on your practice account. Your practice account has all the rules that your Combine account has. So it limits you on the amount of lots that you can take. You have a maximum daily loss limit on that practice account. But your results on that practice account mean nothing. They don't do anything for you. You can blow that practice account. You make money on that practice account. There is no real benefit to it other than trading your trades. It's not going to benefit you in the way that if you do really well on that practice account, you're going to get a reward for it. So that's the practice account. And then you have your Combine account, right? Your Combine account is what you use to pass into getting into the funded stage, which is the XFA. And you trade your Combine account when you have good setups and you're taking trades because you want to get past that account so you get the funded account. Now, above that are two levels. Number one above that is the XFA account. And that XFA account is the one you can actually take withdrawals from. That's the one that you can actually take money out of the market from. And Top Step will pay you for that. And then above the XFA is the live account. The live account, your orders are actually hitting the market. And again, you can take withdrawals just like the XFA account. The difference between the XFA and the live account is that on the live account, your orders are actually hitting the market. On the XFA account, you're still in a sim environment, which is great. I think most people would prefer that because you don't have to wait for fills and you're kind of first in line. You can fill a 15 lot if it taps at one time. And you know, if you're trading in a very low liquid environment, you can get very easy fills. So in that order, that's kind of how you want to judge where if you have all of those accounts available to you, that's kind of how you want to judge if you're interacting with the market. Now, this week, of course, is the final week, trading week of 2023. It's a short week. We still have a lot of folks that are not going to be at their trading desks. A lot of large funds and institutions likely will not be at their trading desks. That's my estimate going into this week. I'd love to be completely mistaken on that and see a lot of volume coming in this week. We do have a couple of events on the horizon this week that we will get into and talk about and discuss here. But for the most part, a lot of funds usually are on vacation for this week and next week, in the sense that they're not going to be pressing on the gas unless there's some type of volatility event, right? So we have like 3 auctions today, 3 treasury auctions. I think we have 2 bill auctions and 1 bond auction. Those can stir volatility. And so there's algorithmic programs that are going to navigate around those situations, but they're not going to be putting their foot on the gas with providing either a lot of liquidity up or down, or building large positions into the new year. Usually, right? That's usually. Trader Page says they're still in the Hamptons, right? And this is just normal for this time during the holidays. Thankfully, we had Christmas landing on a Monday, so Tuesday, all of us knuckleheads can come back in here and start trading again straight away. And then next week, we have Monday off again because of New Year's Day, right? So it's another 4-day week next week. But after that week, we're going to start to have that volatility come in and that volume coming in. I'd say even that first week of January, towards the tail end of that week, we'll start to see some large positioning plays. And again, this is all, it depends on what's going on geopolitically, what's going on in the macro picture. This is not something that, and this is why I often talk about trying to predict where the market's going to be a year from now is just a fool's errand. It's ridiculous. It's silly. You can make a prediction and have fun with it. But these folks that are out there very seriously, these super serious analysts who call for exactly what the S&P is going to be at by the end of January or by the end of December of 2024, those folks are knuckleheads. It's just entertainment. And there's really no value in that, because there's so much going on in the world that can affect that, especially next year being an election year. There's going to be a lot that's going in on things that can modify things and change things up. So just keep that in mind. This week is likely going to be a lower volume week. Next week should be somewhat of a lower volume week because we have Monday off. Monday, the market will be closed. Futures market may be open. I haven't checked on that, but New Year's Day usually is closed. But we should have the following week, I believe it's January 8th, is it? Let's see. Yeah, January 8th, Monday, January 8th. That's going to be when the party really starts. And that's when you really want to put your foot on the gas. So like I said, in the order of importance of the accounts, we're starting at Sim 101. We're going all the way up to a live account. For this week, I'm going to be either trading a Combine account or my XFA accounts. I'm not going to be touching my live account, because the low liquid, low volatility. However, if there's a golden opportunity, I will likely log into that, but the chances are awfully low. The one thing that is interesting about Top Step is that live funded account is connected on a completely different rhythmic connection. So if I'm trading an XFA on the Top Step servers, I have to disconnect from that and then go over to the live account. And as we know in here, we talk about this often, trading is all about moments in time, and those moments can be a flash in the pan or only exist between the length between those two snaps, and then that moment is gone forever, and maybe you miss the best entry. So fumbling around and switching accounts, if you're not prepared and ready to go, trading that live account, you might miss a really great entry. So just to preface things here this morning, just to be fully transparent on my trading, as I always am, which is very rare for some reason to find in this industry, I will either be trading my XFAs this week or trading my combines this week. I'm not going to be trading my live. I will certainly let you folks know if that's going to be different than that. But just because of the low liquid environment, I just don't think it's a good idea. Just draw a trend line until the end of 2024 and you have the same results as an analyst. Yeah, that's exactly right. The market will not be on Celsius this week. I don't think it will. Yeah. We do have some data coming out this morning, though. That is good news. At 8:30, we do have a couple different pieces of data. We have the November Chicago Fed National Activity Index. That's going to be out at 8:30. And then as well as we have the December Philly Fed non-manufacturing activity. So that should be interesting. But these Fed activity reads usually they make the market waffle around. It's not a huge read. We also have the Redbook retail sales that are following that, which usually have not been affecting the market. They used to report those on Thursday or Friday, and I think they've since recently moved those because it's been such a nothing burger on the print. And then 5 minutes later at 9 a.m., we have the FHFA Housing Price Index, which should be interesting. We did get a couple pieces of housing data last week, so that will kind of continue the trend and see if that is in line with things. And then we have the CoreLogic CSHPI, which is going to be out in line with the Housing Price Index. It's the CoreLogic Housing Price Index. And then at 10:30 today, we have the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Activity. So we have three different Feds reporting, Chicago, Philly, and Dallas today. And then, of course, we do have, like I said, we have two bond auctions, or bill auctions rather, two bill auctions and a 2-year note auction. So we have a 1-year bill auction, a 2-year note auction, and a 3- and 6-month bill auction. and those are going to be at 11:30 and 1 p.m. respectively today. So it's going to be an interesting day today. You do want to keep an eye on volume. We are certainly in that low volume environment for the holidays, and you want to pump the brakes. And this is why I wanted to kick off the stream this morning talking about the choices of the accounts that you can trade. You know, if you're still learning to trade and you're still trying to find your bearings and, you know, you're not consistently profitable, you probably want to tone it down and look to trade in your practice account before you're trading in your combine account, just to get a feel for things. Remember, there's no rush to the finish line in this thing. There's no rush to trying to make trading happen for you overnight. And the more you rush it, I've found, at least in my long history of trading, the more you're rushing it, the harder it's going to be for you. So try to take what I'm saying and think about the advice that I'm giving you here as far as looking at volume in the market, looking at volatility events. And if there's no volatility events that are causing and stirring volatility in the market, then you probably want to be laying off. And if you don't have a really nice entry in a position, you're probably looking for moves that are shorter time frame moves, because it can get a little tricky. Like if we look at, let's go to TradingView here. If we're looking at the price action that we had here on, what was it, Friday, right? I believe it was Friday. Did we traded on Friday, right? Yeah, Friday. Boy, 4 days will get my mind all scrambled here. But yeah, we traded on Friday, but you can see this, you know, we had this beautiful, beautiful move, and then we had this gorgeous flush here to the downside. And this is kind of what I'm talking about, that, you know, moves can be a little bit short-lived. And if you're not having stops in place, let's just say, you know, you're super confident buying in this bullish order flow zone, which would be great, and you're letting it run and run and run, and then you're stubborn and you're not taking it off when this flush happens, well, you're going to get smoked on that. In fact, we've played this flush here in the Discord on Friday. I think, again, this was Friday, right? It feels like a lifetime ago. We played this on 2 XFA accounts, ended up making just shy of $2,000 on our XFA accounts. On 2 different XFA accounts for that flush there to the downside. But the point stands is that it really doesn't take a lot of liquidity right now to move these markets around. And this is why I always say, keep your eyes on the amount of volume that is going into the markets right now. Because if there's not a lot of volume, you can have 1 or 2 players that kind of start this move, and then it's a cascading move to the downside here. And you can see on the 1 minute, it's actually, this was this morning, by the way. You can actually see on the 1 minute, it's a pretty extreme move here. And we dipped right back into that bullish order flow. But, you know, if you're not catching that move to the downside and you're stubbornly holding your position, well, you're going to probably get stopped out back at break even. So look for short-lived moves today, because a trending market can quickly snap and things can rapidly change. So just keep your wits about you today and this whole week, because it is likely to be somewhat of a interesting week. We will say that, an interesting week in the sense that it can be extremely tricky. I didn't know live in XFA was a different login. Yeah, it actually is. I was provisioned my live account, and it's a completely different login, because you're actually logging into the real Rhythmic server versus Top Step's Rhythmic server. So it's a little bit different there. Can you not trade copy from your live to your XFAs? Not that I'm aware of, because it's on 2 separate Rhythmic connections, at least in NinjaTrader. Maybe on Tradeovate you could do it, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I could blow my account in low volatility or high, so it's a wash for me. Good morning, Ribs. Hope you had a great Christmas. Glad I ran across you. I trade all by myself, but going to tune in daily now. I have funded accounts with Apex, but due to you, going to give Top Step a go. All right. Thanks for joining us here, Christopher. Good to see you. Good morning, Ripper Trader. Yeah, I didn't know that it was a different separate login either. I thought all of the accounts were going to be under one single login. So yeah, it was news to me as well. You could with Quantower 3 Rhythmic connections running at the same time. Oh, there you go. So if you're on NinjaTrader, it's a separate login. You're not going to be able to do it on NinjaTrader. So I guess on Quantower you could, but yeah, not on NinjaTrader. Grateful Trader says, how was Christmas, Rips? Hope it went well. It was awesome. Spending time with friends and family. Always a good time. Good time to always take a break away from the screens. And again, we're getting back-to-back 4-day weekends here. We have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're trading this week, of course. And then we have Monday off next week. So we're going to have Saturday, Sunday, Monday all off from the markets here. And I believe that we'll have the same type of Globex thing happening, where on Monday the markets will be opening at 6 p.m. as always. Good morning there, Billionaire Bulls. Good morning, Aldo. Yeah, 60 minutes for news. That is correct. Thanks for reminding me there. And again, at 8:30 here, we do have both Chicago and Philly Fed reporting. The Chicago Fed is reporting their national activity index, and the Philly Fed is reporting their non-manufacturing activity. So again, it really shouldn't stir volatility all that much, and I'm just keeping an eye on liquidity here. If you look down here at NinjaTrader, you can see how low the volume is here. You're talking about, I mean, these are 30-second candles, and the reason why we track 30 seconds on here is so you can see all of my exact entries and exits. But yeah, these are 30-second candles. These are, very, very low volume candles here. We're not even encroaching. We're slightly above 100 contracts per 30 seconds. We're slightly below that. So it's a very low volume environment right now. And that's just indicative of, it's a slow session. We should see some volatility step in this morning during the open. And we should see some volume stepping in just before that as well at 9 a.m. where we have the housing price index coming out. And also during 9 a.m., we usually have a lot of algorithms that are turning on. These are liquidity providers that are going to provide liquidity for the session. And, some of those folks during the holiday session, they may only be providing liquidity from 9 a.m. until probably Euro close sometimes. It really just depends. But the fact that we do have a lot of activity out of the Treasury today, like I said at the top of the call here, we do have 2 bill auctions and 1 note auction out today. So they might be providing liquidity for longer than that. But on holiday weeks like this, it can be extremely low volume. Tomorrow's session is going to be extremely, extremely sleepy. We do have the Dallas Fed Services activity out after the open. We have the Richmond Fed Manufacturing Index. All of these Feds are going to be reporting their data this week. So it's going to be, that's kind of the theme of the week. Most of the data is going to be due out on Thursday. On Thursday, we do have the jobless claims as we do every single Thursday. And if you do remember, we talked about this last week. The Fed is going to be, the FOMC, Federal Open Market Committee, is going to be looking at mainly the unemployment and employment data that's going to be coming out over the next few weeks. So when we're talking about data releases this week in a low liquid environment, we want to kind of focus our eyeballs to what's going to be the most important this week. And when we're looking at the level of importance right now, the Fed already told us. The Fed told us multiple times in their appearances after the FOMC rate decision that just came out, 2 short weeks ago. And they told us that they're going to be looking more and more at inflation data, how it relates to the jobs market. So they're kind of backing away from a lot of these inflation reads because we are kind of trending down in inflation now. Although if you went to most stores, you would probably disagree with that. If you folks did some Christmas shopping or holiday shopping, you'd probably see that wasn't really the case so much. They say inflation is dropping rapidly, but I haven't really seen it myself as your regular old consumer. But for the most part, the Fed is now focused a lot on that inflation data, how it relates to the jobs market. And before it was, we're looking for a lot of people out of work because the fewer people that are in jobs, the less money is in the economy. And now the Fed is saying that we do kind of want to have that Goldilocks scenario where we don't have too many people out of work, but we also don't have too many people in a job so that it's not reigniting inflation and we go into a hyperinflation scenario, which would be another interesting, fun time here. So 2024 is going to be full of surprises. It's going to be full of exciting trades, and I'm very much looking forward to it. 2024 is it's going to be a fantastic year. We get blessed with this amount of volatility once every 4 years in the United States here. It is an election year. It does often create a lot of volatility. So if you folks have never traded for an election year, if you're newer traders, you must understand that this is going to be creating one of the greatest environments for you as a trader, because we trade off of volatility. And if the market's screaming to the upside or just crashing to the downside, we can absolutely have some amazing, amazing volatility here. Crude is ripping. Let's see here. This is the second time I saw somebody say, oh my goodness, where are my crude traders at? Look at that. Thanks for pointing it out there, Tim. Oh my goodness. Hey, Rip says, I understand that next year it might be more volatile as an election year. Yes, exactly. Thank you, sir. Echoing, we're both on the same plane here, both in the same mindset. But trading during an election year, it's extremely volatile. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if the market's going up or down, as long as it's moving, a significant amount of handles in a day, then we have a lot of volatility to trade off of. And even if it's rinsing and washing day by day, there's a lot of room in there where, if you're trying to collect, 10 handles throughout the day, throughout the session, which is a very modest target when we're looking at an instrument like the NQ. If you're trying to collect 10 handles on something like that, it's extremely easy to do on a high volatility environment. When you have extremely low volatility, then that's not so much the case. I do think the chances of us having a very strong opportunistic year of 2024 is going to be, the chances are very, very high. I'd say that we're looking at probably one of the best trading environments. I mean, this year was fantastic, but we're probably looking at one of the best trading environments that we've seen in the last few years. Obviously, 2022 was a little bit tricky. It was to the downside for the most part, but there's certain bear markets that when you're trading them, they're not extremely concise in their directionality. And so when we have something like 2022, where obviously the overarching theme is to the downside, it really is difficult to trade that type of environment, and it can be extremely difficult. I don't think we're going to have any of that in 2024, whether the market's screaming to the upside or ripping up or trading to the downside. It really honestly should not matter, because I think that we'll have multiple pockets of liquidity where we go into the session, we sweep hundreds of handles, we sweep back the other way. We're going to have a very, very directional sweeping type of market during that type of year. And I think we'll have pockets of it. Then we'll get to periods of consolidation where we might have a week of not so much happening, followed by a week of bursting volatility up or down. So it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of focus on the geopolitical landscape and how it's affecting the world around us, even outside of the United States. There's a lot of things that can be moving and pushing and pulling around. And it should create, again, a very, very advantageous environment for us as traders. So let's see here. There goes my gas fill. Does that mean we need to watch out for presidential speeches? Yeah, we're going to have the debates, of course, are going to be stirring volatility a little bit. It's going to be a very insane year. And we will see, I keep saying this, we're just going to see a lot of volatility. And volatility as a trader is really what you want as a trader, not as an investor. As a trader, what you want is massive amounts of volatility. So is anybody in here in a trade right now? Anybody trading any of this crude stuff right now? We have about 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes until the data is coming out. And again, we have the Chicago Fed National Activity Index, the Philly Fed Non-Manufacturing Activity, all due out here at 8:30. And then following that, we do have the Redbook retail sales. I remember the polls would dictate market direction when Trump and Biden were head to head. Yeah. And during the prior presidency, there was anytime that the president tweeted, there was always a big stir of volatility, and that was a lot of fun to be a trader during that time as well. So if it's Trump and Biden on the ticket, I don't see any debates happening. Yeah, maybe. We'll have to see. It's going to overtake the entire news cycle as far as I'm concerned. I think that it's going to be pretty much the entire focus for it's only 11 months, right? We're at the end of December here. The party's going to get started, and then it's just off to the races. It's going to be insanely wild, and it's just going to be a great time to be a trader. That's all I can say. It's just going to be a fantastic time to be a trader. This AM price action is so washy. Yeah, it is, Trader Page. It is very, very washy. Very, very washy. This hit my daily loss in Asian session in a 50K XFA. Oh, I'm so sorry to see that, Guarav. Sorry to see that there. Dollar's dumping. Yeah, dollar generally is going down when crude's going up like that. Morning, Rip Gang. Does that mean we need to watch out for presidential speeches? Yeah, just paying attention to the news and, just tuning in here every single morning. I often will talk about the macro environment and everything that's going on there, everything that's happening. The Fed are genius. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they did it perfectly. Everything's perfect. Don't worry about anything. Three Generations Harris says, good morning, Santa. Hubby surprised me with a 45-inch monitor. Wow, that's awesome. Feel like such a professional. I'll be spending more time staring at it than trading probably today. Well, good luck setting that up and getting that all started. 45-inch monitor is going to be great. You're going to have a lot of room for activities. So much room for activities there. Mitchell says, I went through your webinars twice. Loved it. Oh, thank you so much there, Mitchell. What's up? What's up? Sleepy Joe at the debates is going to be fun unless they give him a bunch of caffeine. It's going to be entertaining regardless. As a trader, it's just going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very, very interesting. Where to get your news? I've used Forex Factory for a while now and haven't been let down, but it doesn't have news today, 8:30. So this is the one that I share often in here, and I highly recommend checking out. It is free in here. It is free. That's the one I recommend checking out. Yeah, you got the reference. So much room for activities. Past a 50K combine, waiting for XFA account activation now. We'll continue to trade a max of 2 lots. We'll start a 150K alongside it and take it slow again. Your stream has helped massively. Oh, thank you so much, James. And thank you for tuning in here. Yeah, there's a fine line between, these the 50K accounts and the 150K accounts. On the 150K accounts, you can definitely press into positions a lot stronger, but still, you should still remain disciplined in your accounts, whether you're trading the 150K or 50K account. The benefit of trading on the 150K account with Top Step is you do get that $3,000 maximum daily loss limit, which is amazing, and it allows you to really, you're trading a 1 or 2 lot, you get much more opportunity, many more opportunities in your trades. And just because you have a larger account doesn't mean you have to step into it. On Friday, we were trading pretty aggressively here. We were trading kind of out of pocket. And that was because, coming off the Top Step interview on Thursday and wanting to put on some entertainment into Friday, we were trading pretty aggressive, which if you folks who have been tuning in since the beginning, I see that we have almost 400 you folks in here. You folks that have been tuning in since the beginning, you folks know that that's not my regular trading style. I'm usually trading, a little bit more conservative and, not as crazy, not as getting buck wild, but Friday was a lot of fun. We still made it out the other side with some profit here. But yeah, Friday, the ones that mattered when we traded in the XFAs here in the Discord later on in the day, those ones that mattered where we pulled $1,800 out of the market, that was trading 3 lots on both of those accounts. Thanks again for your guidance on futures and also broader trading advice. Yeah, of course. Happy to help. Top Step had you hyped up. Yeah, we had 1,200 people in here. I wanted to provide a little mix of education and entertainment, edutainment, tradertainment, whatever you want to call it. But it was a lot of fun. I had a good time regardless. Do we have to follow you to win the giveaway? The giveaway is over. Sorry to say there, Kyle. The giveaway is over. It was Friday, the Friday giveaway. So yeah, Chicago Fed here in less than a minute. So let's see if we have any trades here. Go over to Ninja Trader. Let's see if we have any trades here. Thank you so much there, Arthur Morgan. I'm yapping away here. So if we do break below 17,005, I want to see if we actually firm up some bids. Everything's looking pretty docile here, so likely won't take a trade, but we'll see. We shall see. Let's see if there's any action for us to trade here. That's the bands that I'm looking between right there. All the people that couldn't figure out the giveaway. Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I was making sure. Yeah, that was too funny. It was amazing. What's your Twitter? What's your 0.03 positive versus a negative 0.49 prior for the Chicago Fed National Activity Index. Waiting for the Philly Fed. Top Step not available for North Macedonia. I'm not sure. It should be available. Maybe try refreshing the page. A lot of us here right after Christmas. Yeah, 410 of you folks here. Philly Fed coming in at positive 6.3. So positive reads from both the Chicago and Philly Fed here. As you can see, no real reaction on the print as expected. And if you're barreling into something like this, this is your time to realize you should be pumping the brakes if you're running in 15 lots into this move here. There's no real move to be had there. It was tough to watch. If you folks here are new here, make sure you are subscribed to the stream. And you folks that have just come in here, if we want to stream into the open today, the benchmark to hit is 200 likes, which should be pretty easy for you folks to hit. Right now, we're sitting at 119 likes, so just under 80, just about 80 more likes here to go, 81 more likes, and we will stream here into the open. At 200 likes. Let's go ahead and run a poll since there is no real reaction there on the print. The next piece of data is going to be out at 8:55. That is the Red Book retail sales. And as you know, if you folks have been tuning in for a hot minute here, you know that doesn't really move the markets all that much. So we'll probably be waiting for those 2 9 a.m. prints, and that's going to be all the housing prints. It's the housing price index prints that we're going to be looking at here at 9 a.m. So that's what we're going to be watching for. That could definitely stir volatility. We don't have any employment data out today. We do have the Dallas Fed manufacturing activity, which again, if you saw the lack of reaction, what we just saw from the Chicago and Philly Fed, we are getting a little bit of pull down to the downside here. You can see a liquidity provider just stepped in here. This is what these bands are on the Bookmap. When you see these wide bands like this, that's just a liquidity provider turning on their machine. And generally speaking, other algorithms will look at that and sometimes have a quick reaction before the AI in those algorithms really takes over and says, oh, that's just a liquidity provider coming on. That's not some crazy trader coming in that's trying to bid 15 lots or 70 lots there below and above, about 100 lots there. So yeah, that's that's something for you folks that are newer at Bookmap. When you see these wide bands like that, and the reason why they do that is that if one player wants to come along, and this is all judged at the nanosecond with high intensity. These algorithms that they have written, they run off of AI now. It's extremely intense how these things work. But if somebody was to come in, let's just say right here, and they're going to slam, let's say, 400 lots there. Let's just say somebody did 1,000 lot. It could potentially come right on down and flash right through that because they'd probably sidestep that order. This is all happening at the nanosecond level, and it's very, very fast. But when you do see something like this, this is a liquidity provider that's turned on their machine, essentially. I am a serial liker on your videos, almost like a stalker. I love that. We hit 200 likes. Look at that. Ask and ye shall receive. I love that. I'm so happy I'm playing around in sim right now. Literally each time I go into position, it whips the other way. Oh no. Yeah, there you go. That's why you trade on your sim right now. He gave instructions before it started and some still couldn't figure it out. Yeah, it was crazy. But happily, everybody who won got sent their prizes. We had those 3 Top Step combines sent out. And hopefully, if you were one of those lucky winners for the Top Step combine, you should be getting that this week, I think. If not, I would be surprised if you're not getting it by this week. Missed the CL trade while watching the paint dry on the NQ. Yeah, is it still moving here? Let's see. Good morning there, Bart. Feels like it's been 84 years. Yeah, the CL trade over here. Yeah, this did perk up quite a bit and been kind of setting it this morning back at the VWAP here. But yeah, we'll keep our focus locked on the NQ for now. We are just kind of washing around in this area for now. What was I going to talk? Oh, yeah, the poll. That's right. Let's see. Does the NQ right now, just to give you some color, the NQ is up 0.15%. Does the NQ end the day green or red? And then we'll do green, red, and then unchanged, of course. There we have it. Go ahead and vote in this poll. There's about 450 of you folks in here. The results will be published for everybody to see, but your vote itself is completely anonymous, so vote with honesty. We cannot track who voted what, so just vote with honesty, and let's get a temperature of the room here. You folks in here have been quite accurate with your votes lately, and it's been really nice to have that temperature that we've had on the room here. And so again, we are at 0.15% in the NQ right now. Let's get some check here on the S&P. Up 0.09% right now, the S&P, just for some color. Look at this very exciting Globex session here in the S&P, just blah. What is that? That's 806 all the way up to 815. So we're talking about 9-handle range here. Wow, a lot of fun here. That's an incredible range there on the ES for the Globex session. There actually was, opportunities for the NQ Globex session. This is where it opened right down here. So if you're long and strong, but what was really funny that again, this is a low liquid environment, and this is why it's so important for you folks out there to track volume. This candle right here, right? So that candle was about 30 handles. Let's see, 64 up to 97. So over 30 handles there, 30 handles on that single candle. And in fact, if we go to the 30-second chart, I'm going to have to scroll way on back there. But let's get see if we can get moving back there. So there you go. So there's the 30-second bar on that, right? This one right here. This is a 30-second candle. The volume on that candle, okay, to move from 64.5 all the way up to 92.75, right? So you're talking about 30 handles almost. The volume on that entire 30-second candle was 225 lots. Think about that for a moment. 225 lots. And this is why volume and liquidity matter, because if you're trying to pull in, if you wanted to buy 300 lots of the NQ into that move, let's just say, and this is back when I didn't understand how price was derived or anything. This is way back when I first started trading. I was like, well, look, you just take 1 million contracts down here and then you sell it up here. You can't do that. It doesn't exist. There's no trade in the planet that ever existed like that, because this entire move was contracted of 225 lots. That's the entire amount of transactions that happened in that 30-second candle. So the best that you could probably think that you're going to do is maybe barrel in 5 contracts. But even then, your 5 contracts are probably going to get filled because the market makers are going to fill you at a pretty unfavorable rate. You're probably going to get filled somewhere in the upper bands of that candle, and then you try to get out of the position. Maybe you're just slightly better than break even. So again, this is why we talk about paying attention to volume, paying attention to liquidity. It matters a lot in your trades. And that is kind of extreme there, to have a 30 handle move on 225 contracts in a 30-second candle. Very, very indicative that we're in a low liquid environment. The market makers are not giving a lot of thickness to the offer, and they're allowing these things to run. Or if people were going to the sell side, likely they're going to let it dump down there and probably get some favorable bids and walk it back up. So paying attention to volatility, again, is one of the most important things that you could do as a trader. Paying attention to the amount of volume that's coming in. It's extremely important. Where do you learn your strategy from in the beginning, sir? Respect, reading a lot. And I fortunately had 2 mentors that worked at 2 of the 4 large banking institutions that mentored me and taught me a lot about this stuff, and a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you can't really read in books. So I was mentored by 2 very fantastic, wonderful mentors, and I was very lucky for that. But outside of that, reading books and paying attention and just putting time and effort into the market, a lot of trading success is going to be coming from your implicit memory, and that's not something that you can rush, unfortunately. It's time in the market. It's time in the market. It's watching charts. It's seeing how patterns emerge. It's seeing how the markets react on certain news pieces. It's not something you're going to be able to pick up overnight, and that's not what a lot of people want to hear, unfortunately. A lot of folks out there want this magic secret thing that, if I draw this box on my chart over here and I do this and I do that, then I'm going to be an amazing trader. Unfortunately, that's just not the case. If you're not buckled down into this journey for a years-long thing, you're going to be sorely disappointed. It's just the way that this works. It's going to take you a long time to become consistently profitable. It's going to take you a long time to become successful. But if you're up for the challenge, this is a skill that you will have for the rest of your life. And if you're like me, I love challenges. I like playing challenging games like chess. And if you're up to the challenge for things like that, it's like learning to play a musical instrument. It's with you for the rest of your life, and it's a skill that you're going to have. It carries on over into other aspects of your life, but it's certainly not something you're going to pick up in 3 weeks or 3 months, maybe even 3 years. For me, it certainly wasn't 3 years to become consistently profitable. I as I said in my Top Step interview, I spent about 2 years on tilt alone in those 2 years, just very tilty and losing a lot of money and not knowing what I was doing. And yeah, it's a very difficult thing. It's a very, very difficult thing. It's you're not going to become consistently profitable without a very long struggle in doing this. Unfortunately, it's going to take a lot of time. But the whole reason that I have, this stream, and the whole reason that I do these broadcasts is that so that I can share my insights that I've learned over the last decade of trading and share those with you, so that that may help cut down a little bit on your learning time. And it may show you that, I'm trying to show the other side of things, because there's so much misinformation out there about, just do this, you're going to get so rich, and I'm going to make you rich, and all this crap that's out there. That's ridiculous. You need to understand, you need to temper your expectations, and you need to be looking at this as a very lifelong journey. Shaw in here in the Discord says, the faster you slow down, the faster you improve. Think about it like being in quicksand. The more that you're struggling around, the more that you're fighting with things, the more that you're wrestling, the more that you're trying to force things, the harder it's going to be for you. So if you're looking for a quick, get rich quick kind of thing, this is not it. There's other things that you can do with your time out there if you're trying to get rich quick. This is not it. This is going to be something that you'll have for the rest of your life, but it's going to take you a long time to get there. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Exactly. The hardest thing for me is walking away when I'm in the profit. I just want to make a bit more. Well, this is why we talk about journaling in here. You journal that, and then again, it's that pattern recognition thing. You'll start to understand the times when you should walk away versus the times that you shouldn't. When you're completely in the pocket, I always say that, you run into 2 bad trades when you're in the pocket, then you're done and you're probably still profitable. If you're not in the pocket, shutting down earlier than later is always going to be the best thing, right? Really appreciate you for sharing all your knowledge with us. Yeah, I have a great time doing this. I really enjoy doing this. I love talking about the markets. I love talking about this stuff. And I try to be, very transparent in the approach that we're doing here. Like right now, we have not taken any trades. We're still sitting here at zero, just gabbing away, going through everything. But why haven't I taken any trades? Is it because that I'm not trading today? No, it's because there's not been any great setups, and we're not going to trade a less than advantageous setup. We're not going to jump into anything because We want to gamble. We're not going to try to force our hand in the market. And we talked about this sort of at the top of the call. It's a low liquid environment right now. And until liquidity comes in, we have some liquidity providers that we can see clear on the tape, and we have certain areas of interest that we can kind of eyeball out here, then the odds of us having a successful trade are going to be diminished. And we don't want to be trading in that environment. We want to be trading in a high probabilistic successful environment. So that's what we're looking for here. Let's see the temperature of the poll. We have about 200 of you voters in here. Make sure you folks are voting on this poll here. 48% right now are saying green on the NQ for ending the day, and 39% are saying red. 13% are saying unchanged. I actually like you unchanged folks out there. You talk about your setup. Yeah, I posted it on Instagram. I could probably post another story on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, by the way, it was right down there. But are you talking about my setup as in my physical setup, or are you talking about the setups that I take in trading? Those are two separate things there. Physical setup I've posted on my Instagram before. What are my A+ setups? We're looking for confluence, usually. Those are the best ones. When you have confluence across the board, when it creates the most simplistic environment to trade in. For instance, if we have a pullback and all of a sudden the Magnificent Seven, we're talking about Apple, Tesla, Meta, Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google. If you have confluence across the board there, let's say they all have a subsequent pullback, and then we have some bids firming up. The S&P bids are firming up, and all of a sudden we start to push up, and we're seeing the Magnificent Seven, all green candles there. We have some favorable news coming out. Maybe there's some AI news coming out that benefits Google, Microsoft, Apple, Meta. Let's say all of these AI names, Nvidia, the chip providers for all of these AI names. Everything's kind of confluential, and we're having a lot of confluence across the board. That's a great setup for me. That's something that I'm looking for. Let's say we're barreling down into, let's just say we're down here in a bullish order flow zone. We're coming back down here. It's very, very strong confluence across the board. Now we have an amazing setup, right? We have an amazing setup. That's a long. We put a stop in place. We let the trade work, and there we go. We have confluence across the board. That would be an A+ setup. If we're going into a specific zone, we have confluence across the board. Everything's ripping and screaming. Conversely, if we have let's just say something that's happened recently, we have a high participation in a long dated yield, maybe like a 20-year or let's say a 3-year, 10-year, something, a bond or a bill. We have a higher yield and we have high participation, big bid to cover. That could be something that could drop the market in that case. So looking at high participation, that's going to barrel down the market. We're looking kind of overextended on the day. That could be something that we're looking for that to kind of falter and go to the downside there. There's a lot of different setups, right? There's hundreds of different setups that you can take, but it's the best thing that I can preach here to you folks out there is setups will only take you so far, right? Setups will only take you so far. It's about what you're doing once you have that trade on, right? Are you taking off the trade once you start to see some profit? Are you moving your stop because it's not working in your favor? Are you adding to it aggressively because it's not going in the way that you wanted while you're moving your stop? That's where people get into trouble. Setups are easy to find, right? Essentially, you're either going to win your setup or you're going to lose your setup. It's how you're reacting psychologically once that setup is on and it's either working or not working. That's where people tend to kind of fall off the wagon here. And that's where you should be focused rather than what is my favorite setup to take and et cetera. You should be focused on once I get that setup working, how am I reacting once I'm in that trade? That's where journaling comes into play. And that's where you're journaling your trades, looking at what you're doing, following along, and at the end of the day, writing down exactly how you manage that trade, exactly what you're looking for there. Everyone needs a solid bathroom strategy. Exactly right. Exactly right. But yeah, it really is, I can give you folks a million different setups that will work for you, but it's how you're managing yourself, because you'll find that often that when you have a winning trade, and we go over this in my psychology webinar, we talk about this a lot. When you have a winning trade on, you're extremely nervous. When you have a losing trade on, you're trying to get even with that trade, so you're willing to take more heat in it. I talk about this in the psychology webinar that you should flip that on its head, meaning that if you're so good at holding these losers for so long, what causes you to not be able to hold these winners? Because once you're in the green, you're saying, well, it's not going to go any higher. You should flip that on its head and you should say, well, if I can find a way to hold these losers for so long because all I want it to do is go back up, challenge that statement and say, I'm going to have my winner on and I want to challenge this thing to come back down to my entry. And sometimes it will, right? Sometimes it will. You'll get stopped out at break even. But for the most part, you'll be surprised that if you're sitting there and you're challenging the trade to come back to your entry, Psychologically, flipping that on its head, you'll see yourself letting your winners run a lot more, because if you're saying to the tape, you're saying to the market, shouting at the market, come back down and stop me out when you're in a winning trade, you'd be surprised at how much longer that trade runs, because most people who are newer traders are taking off those trades early. They're not letting them run. They're scared to let them run, and etc. So let's see here. Webinars, where are they located? If you're a member, let's see here. They're right here. And if you sign up for the Discord, it's $7 for 7 days. You can do whatever you want, but it's $7 for 7 days. And during that 7-day trial, you can actually check out all of the webinars. You can watch them all during that 7-day period if you want. I always say just start with the streams here. See if you like the style that we trade, what we talk about here. Streams here on YouTube. There's latency on the streams, but on the Discord we have the zero latency as well. 7 trading days or 1 full week. It's 7 calendar days. 7 calendar days. Hi, Rips. I'm new on your space here, and I like it a lot. Could you please say where and how you see the sentiment of the Magnificent Seven across the board? I posted a picture of it on my Instagram of my trading setup, but essentially, I have a screen that's over here that has every single one of those Magnificent Seven on a chart, and I'm able to watch those, and all of my levels are on those charts, and I'm watching very specific levels there. From what time should I set up a fixed range volume profile? I like to use session volume profile, the SVP there, Anabi, or what is that, Annabelle? I like to use the session volume profile. SVP HD is what it's called in TradingView, and that will give you the volume per session, and it's a lot easier than trying to map it out yourself. How do you scale into positions? It depends. If it's a really nice setup and I think we have a lot of room into it, I'll be aggressive into adding into it. If you watch any of my past streams, you can kind of get a feel for how I'm scaling in and out of positions. It's there's certain times when you're going to go the full chunk in at the start. There's certain times when you're looking for certain areas that you want to have the price either drop below or crest above. There's certain times where you're looking for pullbacks to add into. There's a lot of different ways that you're scaling into positions. You have to be very, very dynamic. There's no one right way to trade, and just because I trade a certain way doesn't mean that way will work for you. I'm very dynamic in my approach, and it's what's worked for me for my trading career here. Are we chunky overhead today? I saw that picture on Insta. Massive screens look even wider on widescreen photo. Yeah, they're huge. They're huge. They're massive. I mean, the picture didn't do it justice. This 57-inch widescreen that I got is it's a big boy. It's a big boy. Can you show your volume profile settings? Sure. Let me open that up for you. Here it is right here. SVP HD. This is what I have right here. And you can go back and pause the video if you want, but just having the sessions, each session has each pre-market, market, and post-market. And then over at the style, I just have some fun settings over there where I've changed the colors a little bit and put the volume profile there. There's all that, and then the visibility I haven't touched. And when I have that enabled, it just looks like this. It'll load right there. So you can see, the volume that's been conducted. And we're talking about this earlier. Look at how chunky this volume has been right there in that range. So that's where we're kind of finding equilibrium now. So we're kind of looking for that equilibrium to be shattered and have us go out of that consolidation into a new area. And we may not, we may not have any data that comes out that shakes the tree, but that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that volatility to come in and kind of shake things around there. Big G Ski says, I did find one in NT under indicators as well. Thank you for that, Big G. Hey, Ribs, can you do a webinar on tape, time and sales reading a volatile market, the open, not Bookmap? Yeah, I've had some requests for that, Scott, and I'm thinking about doing that, putting that together. In the new year, we're going to have a lot more webinars coming out. And if you do want to see the webinars that we do actually have right now in the Clubhouse, I posted those above. Have I looked at filtered volume profile in TradingView? I have not, Ruski. I've not checked that one out. I've always used SVP HD. And then there's another one where it basically will show you the volume. What is it called? Do I have it up on here? It's like the volume session, not volume session. It's the viewfinder one. So it's whatever your view is, it'll show you the volume profile for whatever is in your current viewing window. So should make an overview on Bookmap. It looks so confusing for a novice. Yeah. And again, we have, there's the introduction to Bookmap webinar. It's about an hour-long webinar that we have talking about that stuff. I go through a trading day in the S&P and how I look at it. And at least for an hour, I go over that. So yeah, visible range. There you go. The visible range. Thank you. Do you recommend copy trading or trading each account individually? It depends on your experience. I often will trade. It depends. We were copying some last week, and then sometimes I don't copy. It really depends. And it depends on what your MO is. If you're trying to be extremely aggressive and you're trying to really, size into things, generally speaking, you probably don't want to do that copied across all of your accounts. You can have one account that you're trading extremely aggressively, one account that's passive, one account that's a swing account. It really is just up to your own trading plan. There really is no one right way to do it, right? So it's really whatever you're looking to do, whatever you're looking to accomplish. Do I have a link to the webinar? Yeah, I posted that, but here's all the webinars just once more. Are you on Fast Markets with Top Step this week? I'm not this week. I got the schedule, and I'm not a part of it this week. But we'll see in January what's cooking in January. Maybe we'll be back in there for January. Hey, Ribs, hope we had a good Christmas kill this week. Hey, thanks there, Renato. Appreciate that. Visible range. Thank you, everybody. Visible range. That's what too much Christmas vacation for me. Can't even think of visible range here. I was going to get Hisense 55-inch 4K today. They have them from 60, 120, 144 hertz, depending on what you need. Nice, Matthew. Yeah, I personally, I like getting computer monitors for my setups. I know a lot of folks out there trade on OLED TVs now, and there's a lot of OLED TVs that work just fine. Samsung, the Frame 55-inch TV works excellent as a computer monitor. Very nice there, Shaw. That's a cool one. Yeah, the Frame. Wow, I haven't seen that one in a hot minute. Have you ever used the range charts to trade? It depends. I'll look at hourly highs, hourly lows. I'll look at session value highs, session lows, overnight highs, overnight lows. I'll look at those ranges specifically sometimes, depending on what my trade idea is and what I'm looking for. So yeah, I get the question all the time on YouTube, all the time, asking what's the blue line and the red line on your chart here, these blue and red lines. And I get that question more than anything. Everyone wants to know what that is, if they're Bollinger Bands, but no, that's just hourly high, hourly low. It's a custom indicator that I had built for me. And I can kind of see at a bird's eye view here, I can see that we've been pretty tight and constrained. We have obviously some overhead supply here, and that's why we haven't broken above this area in the Globex. That's why I have such a strong volume profile. And I can see that we struck liquidity lower. So if you had forced me to take a trade right now, I'd be looking towards the long side, given that we've swept liquidity. Long trigger is going to be above that 16 level where we've been kind of holding this session for the Globex session here. So that's kind of how I use it. That's what I look at there. It kind of gives me a bird's eye view and a temperature on the market here. When you have super wide areas like this, you can see trending markets easier. And when you have something tight and constrained like this, you can see pretty easily what's going to be the breakout trigger for that. If they're going to be sweeping liquidity, stops going lower, and then we're looking to break that to the downside. So looking at those certain areas there. I'm really big on auction theory, as you folks know. If you saw on Top Step TV, huge on auction theory, and this kind of helps illustrate, the areas of the auction there. By any chance, is the CL affecting NQ? I notice more often than not, it moves opposite of each other. It's the same kind of thing as the dollar. It's not a super great indicator. I know there's other folks out there that like to use that kind of as a backstop. But really, you should be focusing on the Magnificent Seven, because that is what's going to derive the price of the NQ and the people who are trading the NQ and using it as a hedging environment. Also, the S&P is more tightly locked. We will have divergence here between the NQ, the NAS 100, and the S&P 500. We will see divergence between the two, but correlating it to the Dixie or the crude, it's just it's kind of amateur hour in my opinion. It's not as good as what you could do. It's kind of in line with RSI or MACD, looking at those, my first 2 weeks of trading kind of deal. Have you ever used the range charts to trade? Yeah, we went over that there. I got two LG43. I really like those ones that you just got, though. That's going to be my next edition. Very, very nice. Yeah, I have had these Samsung, the 49-inch is the one that's up top here now. I've had that one now since I bought it the day that it came out. That was probably back in, I want to say 2016, 17, or 18. I got it right when it came out. It's still kicking today, and then I just got this brand new 57-inch. I bought two of the 57-inch super ultra wides, but unfortunately, they didn't both fit alongside my camera here, so I have to still rock one of the 49-inch. Do I find pivot points useful? They can be. Yeah, for sure. Of course. The more folks that are using the same type of indicator, that's why VWAP will work often. But the more folks that are using a certain indicator, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's why technical analysis works, is because a lot of folks are trading off the same technicals. And it can be very, very good. It can be very, very good. My wife said I can't have any more desk space. I said I'm fine. I'm stacking vertical. My chair will be pointed up like I'm in a SpaceX rocket. It's one of those things that for you golfers out there, it's like getting a brand new set of clubs that you just love. I love coming into my trading office every single morning and having my battle station here, having my whole setup. I absolutely love it. It's something that puts a smile on my face. I look forward to it every single day. And it's definitely something worth investing into, especially if you need the screen real estate. Obviously, as a streamer now, I definitely do need the screen real estate as much as possible. It is you can see here, by the way, as I'm talking, right above me, that was a liquidity provider turning on their machines there. So we will see here, 9 a.m., we do have that data coming out in 3.5 minutes here. So let's see if we have an opportunity to trade anything on this. But yeah, as I was saying, you want to have a battle station that puts a smile on your face. You want to make sure that you're investing in something that makes sense. Don't buy screens just to have screens. If you're not using the real estate, there's no reason to have a whole mess of screens. I have a buddy of mine who got into trading during crypto and he bought himself a whole mess of screens, and he recently sold all of those screens because he was never using them. And, there's a lot of folks that see pictures of what a trader should look like. And, if you're not utilizing all of that space, there's really no point for it. But if you are utilizing it, highly recommend getting yourself a setup that when you come down to it in the morning, when you open up all your screens and everything, puts a smile on your face and you're really excited to trade. The more gratitude that you can express during the function of trading, the easier it becomes, because boy, do I know it. When I was miserable on tilt trading and losing a lot, I was very miserable in my trading environment. I was trading alone. It wasn't a lot of fun. And, losing mentality kind of festers from that, and it perpetuates through your trading when you have that negative attitude. So whatever you can do to improve it, whether it's having some screens that put a smile on your face or, just a certain setup that just makes you feel good to come down and trade. I think 2 is what I need, just a bit more space for bigger charts. Yeah, just don't overdo it. Don't go shopping for 10 screens and then you plug them all in and you go, oh, okay, well, I got one chart on this one chart on that one. You don't need to do that. There's no benefit in having a whole mess of screens if you're not using them efficiently. Bookmap, Jigsaw, domes for ES, NQ, and CL, and chart layouts. I need one more. I like your setup. I like what you're saying there. I used to trade on Jigsaw. That's hitting home for me. I think Jigsaw actually has a heat map plugin now, and they didn't before, back when I was using them. I used them a long time ago. Should do a video, daily life of a futures trader. Yeah, we'll think about that. Next year is going to be a lot of fun. I think 2024 is going to be a very exciting year for all of us. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Your neck can only turn so far. That's why I like having, I got my whole setup here. I'll post it again on Instagram this week for you folks that haven't seen that. I posted on my Instagram story, but I'll post that again there. Where do you learn your strategy from in the beginning, sir? We had this same question earlier, but I was lucky enough to have some mentors. But early on, I'm self-taught in everything in my life. Early on, I was a knucklehead and I was trying to chase my own tail and I couldn't figure things out. But I had some great mentors along the way that guided my way and taught me a lot about what I know now. And it's just through time in the market, just spending time in the market, looking at charts, looking at patterns, building up that implicit memory to become a better discretionary trader, better discretionary decision maker. All right, within 1 minute, we will have the housing data coming out. The housing price index, HPI, is coming out here. Yeah, I'll post that on Instagram there, John. Their domes are way better and they just added Delta. Ooh, very nice. Yeah, maybe I'll recheck them out. It's kind of a mixed bag. You have some haters out there that don't like Jigsaw. So, any opinion on that, on hedging a position? It depends. I mean, that's usually what these futures instruments are used. Matthew uses Jigsaw. Very nice. Auction Vista. Very cool. Your setup reminds me of the computer scene from Grandma's Boy. Oh boy. 15 seconds here, folks. Let's see if we can peel out a trade on the housing price index. See if there's anything in the way of trades. We're just in a rinsey, washy market here. We will have some liquidity providers coming on as well. They are clearing the order book. 0.3% versus a 0.5% estimate, so a nothing burger there, 20 basis points cooler. And the month over month, 0.6% was revised. Housing price index overall is, waiting for it. Waiting for the data to come in here. So year over year, CoreLogic HPI is at 4.87% versus a 4.85%. The year over year overall, 4.77% versus a 3.93% prior. So a little bit hotter there for the housing price index. Not great for inflation, but market is barely reacting on that. How did you overcome self-sabotage behaviors? Ego is a sneaky SOB. It is. It's one of the worst things. Just time and losing a lot. Losing a lot of money. Losing a whole mess of cash and then realizing that if I continue to do this, then there's no way that I'm going to be able to be successful at this. And then, the market will humble the most egotistical person. The market is very, very humbling. And until you kind of realize that and get to that level where you say, the market can absolutely obliterate you. It doesn't matter. The data should be this and the market should be doing this. And I think this, removing I from the sentence is a lot of it, just saying, let's move with the market. You want to flow with the market. You want to move with the market. Ninja Trader is the bread and butter. Yeah, Ninja Trader, I love. When I got Ninja Trader 8, at first I didn't like it, but when I realized how to customize and use third-party add-ons, now I absolutely love it. Yeah, Ninja Trader's the OG. Ninja Trader's been around for a long time. It's been the choice of futures traders for a long time. I'm a big fan of Ninja Trader. I think their dome could be better. I'm sure you can get an add-on that will make their dome look like something like Jigsaw's dome, but their built-in super dome, it leaves a little bit to be desired, of course. Well, I think that's going to be my first bathroom break coming in hot here. So place your bets if you think the market's going to go up or down on that first Rips bathroom break. I'll be right with you folks in a couple minutes here. I'll be right on back. And we're back. Let's see what happened here. We got a little bit of a bathroom pump there, didn't we? Oh my, we got the reverse flush. So who thought that we're going to get a bathroom bump here? Oh my God. Grateful trader. That's a little bit too much there. I'm adding liquidity. You folks, there's some good ones. We have some good ones here. Adding liquidity. We haven't heard that one before. That's amazing. That's amazing. All right. Lone Man 2, is that right? Lone Man 2 says, I have a problem right now, which I was trading AI Brooks two-legged pullback for some times, and I find it was very time-consuming. I have to sit through a whole day to get a setup sometimes. Any suggestions? Find more setups. Find something where, the trading that we do in here is often 8 a.m. until about 10:30, 11, depending on what the day is. If it's longer than that, we'll usually stick around trading in the Discord, but for the most part, the best liquidity right now in this market that's being offered, because the cycle that we're in right now is these news releases in the morning that are betwixt 8 and 11 a.m., depending on if we have a bond auction, a note auction, or, whatever the case, right? But for the most part, this is great for if you have another job. You can trade from 8 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock in the morning, or 8 o'clock in the morning until 9:45 in the morning, depending on what your MO is. And your goal should be to try to pull out 5 or 10 handles from the NQ per day. That should be it. Start there. And if you can't do that consistently, well, then find a way to get there. 5 to 10 handles is not a tall order in the NQ. In fact, you can find that pretty easily if you're patient. But that should be your goal, consistently pulling 5 to 10 handles out of the NQ every single day. That should be your goal there. Yeah, but my setup's just not there. It means I have to change strat. Yeah, put it on the back burner and start looking for a new setup or a new strategy. There's look at market structure, auction theory, look at, technical analysis, classic technical analysis, look at supply and demand pivots, look at a different setup. There's going to be a whole mess of setups out there. And at the end of the day, the way that I view setups is points. I'm talking about points. Matthew said, when you say handles, you mean points. Yeah, handles are points. Ticks are ticks. I don't know another jargon word for ticks, unfortunately. But handles are points. Whenever I say handles, I'm talking about points. Sorry. Yeah, 5 to 10 points. Handles as in handles, points. Contracts are contracts. Contracts are lots or contracts. That's what we say. Lots, contracts, handles, points. Two separate things. Lots and contracts, handles and points. And then ticks are 4 ticks in a point, or 4 ticks in a handle. I thought we should focus on one strat. Sorry, I'm just trading for 9 months. Well, that's the thing. If your strat is coming up dry, then it's probably trying to find a strat where you're going to produce consistent results. If it's something that you're producing massive results and it's hitting, 3 times a quarter, there's traders that I know that have a setup where they're taking maybe 1 to 5 trades every single quarter. And these are folks that are pulling millions of dollars. They have huge accounts, right? And they pull millions and millions of dollars out, but they're trading one setup and they're trading it very, very heavy. And, maybe they'll have like a stop loss of $100,000, but if they're right on the trade, they'll be making $1 million, $2 million bucks. And these are, huge traders, but it depends on what you're looking for out of the market. If you want to have more action and opportunity in the market and your setup is not producing those setups often, then you want to try to find something else that's working for you. And you have to be very fluid when it comes to the market. You're going to have setups that work for a period and pocket of time, but then that's going to go away. One of my favorite setups to trade was, breaking news. I loved trading breaking news when we were in that cycle back in 2016, 2017, during that time, 2018. Before the COVID market hit, you'd have breaking news and it would be great because you'd have press releases come out midday and kind of bottom of the hour, top of the hours when they'd have press releases, or, you'd have, tech releases or anything like that would stir volatility. And then you could either short an overreaction or you could long an overreaction to the downside if it was negative news. There's a lot of industrial news that you could bounce from, and there's just so many different things, right? There's so many different setups. The point is that you want to be fluid in your setups. You want to understand that there's not going to be one specific right setup that you're always going to have for the rest of your life. For the most part, you want to be malleable. You want to move with the markets and understand that if your setup stops working, it's time to find another setup. While you should have hyper focus into certain areas of the market, if your setup is not producing results, it's time to look elsewhere and try to find something where, you can shift your focus, if only slightly, right? I'd love to see a video on how you drop your levels. Actually, we do have a video of that right here. It's a 20-minute webinar. It's right here, right there. Be like water, Bruce Lee, exactly right. Morning, Wotes. Hope you had a great Christmas. I did. Thank you, Wotes. You as well. Hopefully you and your family had some happy holidays there. Anyone buy this bull flag pop I mentioned? Grateful that you snagged that there. Yeah, we are kind of, if we're looking here at NinjaTrader, we are just kind of, dipping below this. If you want to imagine this line goes all the way across here, we're just kind of dipping below in this liquidity. We made a higher low here. So obviously tilting towards the upside here. But I do want to see, if we have anything that's going to move the markets here off the open, if we have a lot of liquid that's coming into the markets, then obviously want to try to find a trade on that. If not, no big deal. You did. Very nice there, Grateful Trader. Sold one lot, holding one lot. Very nice. Congrats. Big G is holding one long from 3. Very nice. Up about 10 handles there. Shahid says, hey, Rip's been following you on Twitter since your small cap days. Hey, awesome. One of the old schoolers. Great to see how far you've come. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. We had some fun times during the small cap days. But again, that kind of goes into what I was just talking about. You have to be adaptive. If there's a cycle that's not producing results, it's time to shift your focus. And I mean, the focus that we have now over here doing futures on Top Step couldn't be better. It's amazing. I'm actually finding another strat setup, but it feels bad for me, like betraying my strat. I understand. I get that totally. I'm actually looking forward to learning your strat, but execution looks hard. It depends. So we're working on a tool right now for NinjaTrader where you're going to be able to hook into your Elgato Stream Deck, which is this bad dogger right here. So being able to hook into that. And if you don't have a Stream Deck, you just use your old computer keyboard. And with that, you'll be able to really remove and lower the amount of time it takes to have the idea and then put that idea into the market. And so I'm excited about that. That should be coming out in January or February. And that should be really exciting. But an add-on for NinjaTrader, so you can hotkey into positions and trim those positions, add to those positions, and have stop losses automatically in place. It'll take out a lot of the thought process, kind of like Magic Keys. Exactly right, kind of like Magic Keys. But it's going to be, it's going to be NinjaTrader only. And if it does really, really well, then we'll release updates for it and continue creating more and more add-ons, and it'll be really, really interesting. So working on that through the beginning of the year, and hopefully come out with something very soon here. Wonder if I can work with TopStep X to make this algo keyboard work. I'm really loving TopStep X. Yeah, they might have some hotkeys built into TopStep X in the future there. I'm so looking forward to the Stream Deck input. I did a ton of scripting in MT4 to make my life faster for news trading. Yeah, and so that's the thing is, like, right now, my bandwidth is overloaded because I have to key in the order quantity and calculate things in my head. So for instance, if I'm, let's just say I'm in a 3-lot position and we get a nice dip, I want to add 100% into that. So I have to make sure that I have 3 quantities selected, make sure I can buy that instead of being able to just press a hotkey for 3 and get that order filled immediately. And then let's say I want to flip 25% of that position up top. Let's say 2 lots, I want to flip up top. If I can't do that, a little bit less would be like 1 lot, I guess, 25%, 30%. Say I want to flip that without keying in and changing the quantity, flip that up top 10 handles higher. I can do that with a hotkey now. And instead of kind of fumbling around and doing that, and then a button automatically to move my stop to break even, or 10 handles higher than break even, or trailing my stop automatically, doing all these things with one button press will lower the latency between the thought process that I have in my head and being able to execute that on the market. And what I did is, this is exactly how, if you look over here, this is my hotkey page that I had when I traded on equities and when I'm trading in options as well. I trade in options, trade in equities, and I'm doing that all with hotkeys. And the moment I have a thought, it's immediately being executed. And that amount of low latency is what is helping you create more profits in your trades. And so for that style of momentum trading, it's extremely helpful. So I'm very excited to have that coming out there soon. Issue with TopStep X is you can't scale like that currently. Yeah. And I think 2024 is going to be an amazing year for all of us in here. I think it's going to be an incredible year because the futures market has been exploding recently. We're seeing a lot more folks trading on TopStep now, which is fantastic because people are not losing their money into small caps to dirty brokers, and people are able to trade an efficient market, a market that shows up and produces results every single day of the week. People are becoming wise to that and seeing the opportunities here and saying, well, in small caps, I was blowing $5,000 a month in my account and getting nowhere. With this, I can get on a TopStep account for $49. I'm not really risking my finances by doing that. I can trade for a limited amount of time. I can count on these markets to be efficient. There's a lot of different benefits, and I think that that's going to start to really increase in 2024, and it's going to be amazing. I'm very excited about it, extremely excited about it. Where can I learn the momentum trade? Well, just, keep tuning in. There's no real right way to trade. This is just the way that I trade. And hopefully by tuning in, you can see my style of momentum trading and see if it coalesces with how you trade and see if there's some synergy there. Automation is the way. This is you'll probably, yes, you will even probably today with a new hour or two. Yeah, exactly. I would just let it chill for today when you get it. How to take partials on Top Step X. I'm not so sure about that. Ascend position size add-on for Ninja Trader works really well. I have to check that out. Let me copy that here. Ascendo position. We'll have to put that one in a bookmark here. See if that, let's see. Ascendo position Ninja Trader. Cool. We'll see if that one is interesting. Is it a full trading day? It is. It is a full trading day today. Today is a full-fledged real, it's a real trading day today. I get stopped out on mine from 99 for plus 85. What do you mean? For Big G is talking about, I think, keying in the orders and all of that. So for Celsius today, what do we have here? We got the cosmic vibe rocking and rolling here. This is a good flavor. I don't know if you folks have tried. By the way, of course, if there's a Celsius rep out there listening, you know this is the spot to be. We have some amazing folks in here that would love a Celsius sponsorship. You expect volume to be slow until the end of the year? I do. Yes, that we talked about at the top of the call today. And folks, if you ever miss any of the streams here, all of the streams are uploaded in their entirety back on the YouTube channel. So if you ever want to go back and watch and seeing how I'm managing positions or taking trades, you can go back and watch the stream archive here and see how we've done. I would recommend avoiding the Friday stream because that was me trading like an aggressive knucklehead, but the other streams out there are just as good. All right, see you tomorrow, Rip. Gonna wait for my FTX. Thanks, hard, right? Yeah, thank you, Evan, for tuning in here. Shaw says in the Discord here, for partials on Top Step X, say for example, you're long a 3 lot and you have a take profit order above. If you want to trim your position and take a partial, just sell one and your take profit will adjust the number of lots automatically. Okay, thank you for that there, Shaw. Thank you. Automatic position size calculator drawing tool. Very, very cool. Grateful says, you were unrealized up 7K and you had me tilting watching. Yeah, we ended up making, I don't know, 6 or 7K on that trade. It's funny, if you go back and watch the live chat replay, everybody's like, take profit, man. What are you doing? Take the profit. It's still entertaining. It was hilarious. How long will you stream today? It depends on the price action, but we're looking at the market opening here in 12 short minutes. So we did get enough likes here. By the way, if you're new here, make sure you're smashing that lucky like button so we can all have a green day in here. Make sure you are subscribed with your notifications turned on. And also make sure that you are following me on my socials. I do post some more behind the scenes stuff there, either on Twitter or on Instagram. Instagram is more fun for me right now. Twitter's just been blah. But here we go. There it is. At Selling Rips right down there. There it is. At Selling Rips. Just follow me on Twitter or on Instagram if you haven't already. It's a lot of fun there. I'll post my picture again of my setup this week, so we'll do that and some more behind the scenes stuff there. Would you do VWAP or anchored VWAP? I like just regular old VWAP. The anchored VWAP, I mean, they're one and the same. It's whatever works for you. I use the regular VWAP. I don't use an anchored VWAP. Swede says, sub today, good stuff. Hey, there you go. Give it up for Swede. Hey. So yeah, still no trades, as you can see here. Sitting at no trades at all. Haven't taken any trades. If I do take trades, you can see them on the chart with those beautiful teal and purple triangles that show up, that show exactly where I entered, exactly where I exited on the trade. There's no sleight of hand, no smoke and mirrors here that you'll find on those other streams out there where they show you the position after they've put it on and they're 10 handles in the profit and they go, you knuckleheads didn't get that. And that kind of tomfoolery. We don't do that here. Twitter's turned into the 1995 internet. Everything is a porn app. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's Twitter's been pretty wild lately ever since Mr. Elon took over. CL still blowing through stops. Let's have a gander here. Let's take a look at crude. It's kind of perking up here. Kind of chopping sideways. Wait, what? No, that's not it. What am I looking at here? There we go. Okay, there's crude. I probably pulled out Colgate. I was wondering why the last chart it didn't look right. Something looked off. I was like, maybe it's because I'm in the 15-minute time frame. But there we go. There's crude futures. Good morning, Omar Lopez there. Good morning. Good morning. Are you trading a challenge account? Well, we have 2 XFAs to trade, and we also have a combine account. Depending on the price action, that's going to dictate whether or not we're trading the combine or the XFAs today. And in a low liquid environment, if the setups are not advantageous, we'll probably be trading a combine. If not, we'll trade the XFA and see if we can pull some alpha out of the market on a couple different trades here. You get your levels off Bookmap usually. So I talk about in that webinar there, it's titled, what is that webinar title? It's called Construct a Trade Using Market Data. That talks about it, a lot of how I'm getting levels, but I have a specific formula that derives most of the levels when we're looking at the memo, the morning memo that comes out. Those levels are derived in a very specific way, and it's a tried and true method. You'll see often that if you're in the if you get the morning memo, it's published to a lot of different brokers out there. It's published to Schwab, to E-Trader. It's published to trading, Thinkorswim. That's right, Thinkorswim. It's published to a lot of different brokers out there. And so if you get the Market Clubhouse morning memo, you could see that those levels will often trade exactly to the penny there. So am I taking this? Well, no, I'm not going to be trading crude. So I'm not taking this. I'm going to be focused on NQ here. We do have the market opening in about 8 minutes here. So what I'm looking for in the NQ today is I want to see us trade up into this overhead supply. If we have a breakout above this area, reclaiming this ascending support line, getting above 37.75, targeting 77 to the top side there. So that's what I'd be looking for. It's going to be a very thin market. So see if we can get a nice couple trades there. Seeing you on my E-Trade news alerts. Hey, there you go. Yeah, we pop up in a lot of those different brokerages. I think almost every single brokerage we pop in, but the morning memo gets published usually around 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning Eastern time here in the Clubhouse, and then it goes out to those brokerage houses. They publish it around 10 or 10:30 there. So we have some beautiful distribution on the morning memo, and get a lot of folks that love that morning memo that gets published every single day. No, not taking NQ here because we're at this topping level. So we had a breakout of this level. You have to be careful in a low level environment that they're not just sweeping stops and then bringing it right back down. Here, I gotta show that. So looking for that top heavy breakout, that flat top breakout there. If we broke above that on low liquid, there's a good chance we could just be sweeping stops coming back down right before the open. So we want to see liquidity providers here coming on in 2 minutes at 9:25. We'll see a lot of machines turning on, and it could be could be pretty wild. Did you say targeting 77? Yeah, looking at TradingView here. So looking for that burst above 37.75. Obviously, we're looking at this flat top here that we have right around our level at 13.25. We break out to the upside there, get above that overhead supply, rejoin that ascending support, then there's a good chance we could be tickling up into that 77. We do have overhead supply that is betwixt 37.75 and 77 right now. So that's what we're looking at there. Tesla prints, that's what we're looking for. Pushing up here, just kind of holding at 13.25. You sound like you've traded with Ross Cameron in the past. That's hilarious. No, somebody posted a similar comment too. They're like, you're the Ross Cameron of futures trading. I thought that was really funny. It must be because of the beard and the fact that we both are momentum traders, I guess. Betwixt 10 out of 10 word. I agree. Yeah. It's definitely an amazing way to describe where the price action is seated between here. Maury Rips, why is that 37.75, 77 range in particular? Well, it's a range that we've derived over the last bit of price action here. Let's go into the 30-minute. You can see here that every single time that we've come up in this area, and even more recently, we've been rejecting in that area. We do have some overhead sellers here that every single time we come up in this area, the order flow shifts, and we do have it kind of fading back down to the downside there. Do futures lead equity markets or equity lead futures market? Chicken before the egg? It's a very good question, but it's a mixture of all of these things. Futures are kind of the big daddy of everything here, the big parent of everything. And SPX and ES are sort of tied in that realm there. SPX and ES are two of the biggest hedging instruments out there. Some can argue that, index future options are some of the biggest hedging environments. The biggest areas for large hedging environments. So like Carl Icahn will hedge in ES options often, and the pricing on those is a totally different story. But it's it's usually that you're having the ES that's leading everything else. SPY is the lowest in that line. SPY is basically just an ETF made up of all of these things, and the ETF is trying to get as close to the price action that is all of the underlying as well as where the ES is moving to. ES futures are simply where the S&P cash market should be by the time that those futures contracts expires. So I kind of like spot gamma levels for that reason. Yep, that's spot gamma is very, very good. Hey, Rip, what do all the green and red balls on the graph above your head mean? I like that. It's this is Bookmap over here, right to the right here. That's Bookmap, and you can see on Bookmap, you can see it's basically the order flow that's visualized. It's a heat map chart, but then these bubbles here are the amount of volume that's been contracted. And I can zoom down into the nanosecond level here, and I can see very concisely how much volume was contracted at specific levels and break apart these orders into multiple orders by the nanosecond here. You can see down there, that's at the nanosecond level. And look at that. That's how that order was exactly received in the market there. You can see they actually split this one up into, let's see, 3 different ranges in price here. The quarters, the halves, and the 3/4 there, they split this one up. So very, very interesting to see. It records everything in real time, so you can go back and watch replays and see how the market was receiving certain prints, and then go back and study that for your future Bookmap use, which is really, really great. How should we read Bookmap? It's so confusing. Spend a lot of time with it. That's one of the best things I can recommend. They do have a YouTube channel that talks about how they read it. I often go on and talk about how I specifically read it, but just because I read it a certain way doesn't make that the rule of the land. It's just the way that I interpret Bookmap. It's the way that I viewed it for the last 10,000 hours. So Jay says Christmas ornaments. Duh, yeah, exactly. It's all Christmas ornaments. There's a bunch of education on Bookmap's website. Yes, exactly right. And it's a fantastic tool to visualize the liquidity and order flow in the market there. Bookmap equals the LSD indicator. Exactly right. Is that a modern lava lamp on the shelf behind me? Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that. Those are called infinite objects, and they kind of like a lava lamp, but we have a couple back here. I'll show them another time here on stream, but it's kind of like a lava lamp, but I have a couple different, they're called infinite objects, and they originally were printing moving live NFTs, and I have a couple, I like art. I collect a lot of art, so those were some pieces that I added to my collection. I thought, hey, they look pretty cool on stream, so why not? Grateful Trader says, read the dome in level 2. Bookmap will simplify things a lot. Just visually follow order flow. Yeah, it's a great way to get a bird's eye view on exactly kind of what's happening without having to commit a lot to your memory there. Morning there, Mike. Slept a little late, a little too much eggnog last night, perhaps. Intimate object, no, Infinite Objects is the company that makes those things. I think I have one posted on a reel on my Instagram there, but. We have less than 2 minutes now until the market opens here. Less than 2 minutes. The liquidity is quite dry here. Very, very dry. And we'll have to see if we're presented with an advantageous opportunity here off the open. If we are, then we're definitely going to try to find ourselves a trade. Again, we're looking for this to bottom out here kind of in this area. We've had some messy liquidity. We have obviously some bullish order flow that's way down here. We have this ascending support line that has been broken to the downside. We've been chopping around in this channel here. This is the 30-minute chart on the NQ. So if we do break below this, I do think that we will seek a little bit of liquidity to the buy side down here and potentially make our way back up to the top side above 13.25. But if we are going full sell side, we'll see it across the board in the Magnificent 7 today. So shouldn't be too hard to spot, but keep an eye on volume, keep an eye on liquidity, and you have to really be careful out there. Just be careful in a low liquid environment. It can get very, very tricky. All right, inside 1 minute, folks. Inside 1 minute. Yep, no trades yet. No trades yet. This is where we're sitting right now. No trades, no trades. Just chatting away with everybody in here, having a fantastic Tuesday on this short week of trade here. Feeling rusty this morning. Been since Thursday since I took a trade. Hey, that's good. Limiting your time in the market. That is generally a pretty good thing. All righty, folks. Under 30 seconds. Make sure you're calm, cool, and collected here. Make sure you have everything ready to go. Your correct account selected. Make sure that you're not barreling into a practice account unless that's your MO and you want to be trading that practice account. But let's try our best today, folks. Let's have a great trading day. 5 seconds. Good luck, everybody. Good luck. All right, we are kind of holding here. I do want to see the auction kind of encroach above 13 and a quarter. A little bit mixed in the picture here. Magnificent 7 kind of waffling around. We are just sweeping around in this liquidity. Very low liquidity for now. Usually would like to see a bigger burst than that off the open. We're trading about half size what we traded on Friday so far. So holding above these 13s for now. Taking a long here because we are holding above 13s, looking for us to get back up into that ascending support, up at those 37s. Seeing if 20s are going to hold, adding into that for that push above, watching 25 encroachment here to the top side now. Adding to that beautiful, beautiful trade there to the top side. I'm actually going to peel off 4 lots there for that one. Going to move our stop just above break even. Beautiful trade there. Taking off 1 more into the ask. Leaving 2 as a runner. Very, very nice move there to the top side. Gonna move my stop up just a little bit more as we are pushing up pretty hot and heavy here. I do expect a pullback as we kind of run into this ascending support. All right, coming up into the 30s now. Peeling off 1 more at the ask into the 30s. Leaving 1 more as a runner here. Anybody else catch that move there to the top side out there? Anybody else catch that long? Stopped out right there, so that's going to put us up on the day. We are up $700 there on that trade. Anybody else out there in YouTube land or in Discord catch that? Looks like Austin caught that. Hydro, Luna, Josh, very nice. Anybody out there? Big G, Josh. If you caught that, go ahead and drop a W in the chat. Let's see if we're having some fun here, folks. W's in the chat if you caught that. Hey, there we go. All right. Love to see that. Nice work.
That's what we call a sack lunch.
Num, 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 num. I love that. That's my favorite sound clip. So nice punch up there to the top side. You can see we ran right into that ascending support, and that's kind of why I was covering some lots up there. Running that ascending support up there to the top side. Looking at the 15-minute chart here. Coming right up into that ascending support. We are sweeping liquidity here, but again, this is just such low volume. It makes for very, very difficult trading environment. So let's see if we can take trade number 2 here. Let's see if anything shapes up here. We are encroaching back below 17,000. I do expect that we probably will sweep the liquidity on both sides here. But this is why you use stops in your position. This is why you don't hold and hope and not use a stop. I do expect it to be a little bit whippy from here, but let's just go ahead and see. My wife loves to leave the kids with me, so I'm never looking at the screen when I need to be. Well, treasure those moments with your family. Treasure those moments. Always be grateful for those moments that you have. Let's see here. Looks like I'm going to end the poll here, by the way, so we can see more of these. Wow, look at that. Oh, so many W's here in chat. You love to see that. Happened fast, was going for the break of 15s for a test of 25s. Caught it for 300. Nice work there, Chess Trader. But this is why it's going to be great to have those momentum keys. Up 300. Nice work there. Camillo, Jake, way to go. Trader Mark, dude, love it. In the Discord here, love to see that, folks. Very, very nice. Yeah, not kids for long. Treasure those moments. Treasure those moments. The best of the best. Thank you so much there, Ronnie. All right, so we're peeling back a little bit. Definitely some areas of concern up here because we do have Amazon kind of rolling over here. Apple not really holding the ticket. Meta and Microsoft are trying to put together a small rally here. NVIDIA off to the races. Tesla has pulled back just a touch here. SPY is looking to have, again, we're looking for this flat top breakout out of the SPY here. Looking for encroachment above a 37 3/4. So nice execution on that trade here. Seeing everybody in here just crushing it. Absolutely beautiful. Kyle says, I'm out, man. I hit that long. Have a great day, Rip. Got a doctor appointment. Good luck all. Thank you there, Kyle. Congratulations on hitting that trade there. Very, very nice. Yeah, my caution flag is out right now because it's looking kind of rinsy across the board, even though we are pushing up here in the NQ. SPY is kind of going for a flat top breakout. We are looking to make new highs here on the day, pushing into this ascending support here, looking over at the trading view. So we're pushing up into that, not reclaiming that just yet. Very, very rinsy. I don't like the way that Apple's reacting here. Now bursting above that just ever so slightly. A small little tickle there. Let's go to the 5 minute and see. Yeah, really just running hot into that here. Market's only been open for 5 minutes, so this is the second 5-minute candle that's piecing together right now. That ascending support line has been a great indicator of whether or not we have that strength, and also keeping an eye here on Apple and Amazon, which were the laggards of this morning here. Tom hit his target on the NQ. Way to go there, Tom. Nicely done. So we are pushing back up here, looking for this 37 area. If we do have a breakout above 37, this thing can get speedy to the top side. I'm just watching SPY up here as well, seeing if we are going to be breaking out of this level. So just watching here. So looking, and we are kind of pushing up here. I kind of want to see if we can get along here at all. Watching here, right at 37, seeing if we have any kind of pullback. Just watching. Gonna bring that down so we can see. I'm gonna take a long here. I want to see if we can break above 37. We do have some overhead supply that we have to be careful of. So watching here. Seeing if we are going to hold that 37 area for a breakout. This is where SPY would break out as well. So watching here on any kind of pullback. Move my stop up to 26.5. So if we do break above this level, we do have stops to be popped here up at this high level. So watching here on this pullback. They are kind of bidding these 30s for now. My stop's right here at 26.5. So I want to see if we hold these 30s or not. So they are bidding this up a little bit. I'm going to go for 3 lots here, looking for this 37 encroachment to the top side, looking for this thing to run hot. We have a player up at 35. If we sweep that liquidity to the top side, we do have a chance of making this much higher here. Move my stop up to 27.5. SPY is in that breakout area. So if we get above 35s here in the NQ, this thing should be screaming to the top side. Just have to be keeping our stops in place in case we get stopped out here, 27.5. So stopped out there, trying to get that topping breakout there to the top side. So that's going to bring us back down here to $157, still in the profit. Seeing if we can cap back on a trade here, since we did kind of hold those 27s, if not temporarily. So watching here at the 30s. Taking a 3 lot here as we are punching back up those 30s, looking again for this flat top breakout of 37.75 to the top side here. Move my stop here back to 24.75. See if we are going to punch above that. Running a 3 lot, trying to keep our stop relatively tight here. Because if we do have a breakout on this thing can be very strong to the top side here. So that's what we're watching for. So reclaim of that ascending support, and then sending this above 37.75, looking for that encroachment above into the 40s there. Apple, a little bit weak here, as well as Microsoft. Actually, Meta's the weak one here of the M's. So if we get a bounce here out of Apple, we can encroach above this. It does look like they do want to take this to the buy side above 37.75. So we're looking for this to perk up here. Have an average of 31 in our position. We need to see this confidently above 35 here. We do have some sellers up at 31 for now. So seeing if we get this breakout in SPY. Still some folks capping off heavily at those 31s. Kind of want to have my stop a little bit lower here. Like 23.25, just in case we get a scoop down to 25. There are some bidders showing up there at 27, kind of intercepting that 25. See if we can get this perk above 31. Keeping an eye on volume, which is relatively low. And the next news piece is coming out in 20 minutes here, 20 minutes. So there's a push up from Apple, now looking for this 37 blowout to the top side. Watching here. Nice push up from NVIDIA as well. This should get very top heavy here. Watching through 37 now, making a new high. Watching very closely here. Seeing some nice bid stack coming in. Watching for this 40 encroachment to the top side. Very thin liquidity up here. Apple very washy as well. Nice push up. There are some asks being layered up into 40. So let's see if we can blow out these top side players up to 40s. So watching closely. Watch if we can take these 40s quickly. Looking for that 40 blow. Very nice 40 blow. Can we get the continuation through the 40s now? Very, very nice continuation there through the 40s. Gorgeous move to the top side here. Beautiful. Taking off 2 into the ask. Oh man, look at that. This is where I need my hotkeys. This is where I need my specific hotkeys, where we can absolutely get those fills and I can walk down the price with the quickness here. So let's see if we get this pull up towards 43.5. Actually going to move my stop down. My cover a little bit. Chasing this order a little bit here. Oh my goodness. Market makers are playing with our emotions this morning here. Those dirty market makers. We're always getting filled there so many times, but let's see if we can get the price walked back up there. We're trying to cover 2 into the ask, and it was just very, very weak there. So we should punch up here, get into this 40. There we go. Move that up a little bit. There we go. Got filled those 2 there. Got 1 as a runner. We're going to move our stop now just above break even there. So patience was everything on that trade there. I'm happy we moved our stop down to 23.25. So very, very patient in that trade there. See if we can get this walking up. It's chunky up here. It's very, very chunky. Moving my stop to 34.25 now. I want to see these chunks get blown out into 45 now. So watching this up above at 45. Very, very top heavy, but if we have a breakout from Apple as well as the SPY here, this thing can be screaming Willy beaming to the top side there. So we are going to move our stop up just a little bit more here. Right there, up to 37. Watching for this 45 encroachment and subsequent blowout into the 50s. Likely we'll try to see if we can get received above the 50s here. So watching here, there we go. 45 is swept. Looking now for 50s to get encroached here to the top side. Beautiful, beautiful push up towards 50 now. Gorgeous move up towards 50. Watching here. Watching on that pullback towards 50 now. We should have a blowout at 50. Only 70 lots sitting there. So watching here, right at 50. Apple is turning up a little bit. Google is shaping up as well. NVIDIA just off to the races, looking for that 496 pull on NVIDIA now. Beautiful, beautiful pull to the top side here. Gorgeous, gorgeous move. Can we hold above 50? Little softness. Let's see, walking back up towards 50 now. I'm going to cover right there because we're getting a little flushacito. So that's going to put us up on the day. $844. There we go. How about that? If you're having fun out there, folks, make sure you are dropping a like on the video. Make sure you are subscribed to the stream with notifications turned on. If you folks are doing well, drop another W in the chat. Let's see. Let's see if we're having some fun in here. Hey, there we go. 390 on the XFA for Mo Money. Dude's up 270. Hey. Love to see it, folks. Let's go. Luna says, I end up taking an L, then re-entered for a bigger win. Still down a little bit from the last trade. Nice work there, Luna. Way to go. Up 2K on the top sub combine. Now we're driving up. This is the drive that we're looking for earlier. Now we're driving in hot and heavy here. So watching here to the top side, seeing if we get that pull above into the 50s. Remember, our target to the top side here is that 77. That is our large top side target here. This is on extremely low volume, so it's not a great advantageous market to be trading, but when we are popping these stops here to the top side like this, it can create a nice golden opportunity for us here. So watching here. Looking for this 50 level to get blown out to the top side. We are currently flat right here, up $844. Dang, I decided to take today off because of volume. Now I wish I had traded. Don't be FOMOing into any trades. If you missed it, you missed it. The trading is comprised of moments in time. And if you miss the moment, you miss the moment. And that's okay. Jay Alexander, give it up here for Jay Alexander. With such low liquidity, might be my only trade. Nice work there, Jay Alexander. Way to go. Here in the Discord. Vladimir says up 35.50 for the day. Post Christmas gift. Thanks, Rips. Awesome. Nice work there. Up 926 for the day. Think I may call it due to this light liquidity. I like that idea there, Trader Mark. Yeah, this is slow-paced momentum day trading. Every day is different in the market. Exactly right. Yeah, there's always going to be other moves. Do not FOMO. Great advice there, Alfred. Hey, good morning. The Rooster is here. Good morning. Good morning. Wow, Elias is up $4,000. Way to go, Elias. You are a money printer. You made my day. Hey, how about that? Way to go. So we do have data that's coming out here at 10 o'clock this morning. I'm sorry, 10:30 rather, not 10 o'clock today. It is the Dallas Fed manufacturing activity. So we might be in a zone of consolidation here, if only slightly. We did have some nice trades up to the top side there. Some really nice trades. I hope these are XFAs, LOL. Yeah, so let me show you the lay of the land here. This is what we're looking at. Let's see here. Go to display. So being in a low liquid environment here, we have, can we see that? There we go. We have some trade in the XFA, $144, and then over in our combine was the original trade we took for $700 there. So that's our lay of the land for now. So we have one trade in the XFA and one trade in the combine. Of course, this is because it is the low liquid environment. We talked about this at the top of the stream here as well, talking about how we are gauging our accounts from sim all the way up to live there. Is the profit sharing for XFA 50%? No. It is 100% for your first 10K that you make, and then you keep 90% after that. So there you have it. I meant the chat. Hello, not you, Rips. You're the real deal. Big fan. Hey, thank you, Renee. Thank you. Appreciate you. But I do like to be transparent and always show what we're working with here. It's always good to be transparent because it's lacking in this industry, unfortunately. Hey, Jay Quinn, look at that. Up almost $700 there. Well, no, up $700. Way to go. Thank you for your transparency. Seriously, of course. Happy to do it. And we went over this well before we even traded, talking about, trading combines, trading XFAs, not going to be trading the live, going through all of these things so that everybody is aware of what we're doing. There's no party tricks or tomfoolery or sleight of hand here. There's like you'll see on these other streams and this nonsense. If I'm going to take a trade, you're going to see it. They're going to see it the moment I put it on. There's no shame in that. What is your starting stop loss? I use a stop loss of 60 ticks, but I'm moving it almost immediately. And especially if we're in an area where I want to have a tighter stop specifically. Wow, way to go there, Josh. Nice trading for you there. Very, very nice. I appreciate your clean language too. Thank you so much. I think that we have a lot of parents here that watch and like to have the stream on when they have children present. So it's just out of respect, and there's just no need for it. If you can't speak without saying a swear word every other word, then you have a very limited vocabulary and your IQ is probably right around room temperature. Sad so many people aren't transparent in this industry. Well, because it's very difficult to be a trader. And there's not very many good traders out there. It's very difficult to be a good trader. It's very difficult to be a trader and a streamer and all of that. It's very, very difficult to do this all simultaneously. But I love the challenge. I appreciate the challenge. Jay Quinn says, would you want to trade your live account in the slow week or wait until January? We talked about this at the top of the call. Went over this specifically. I'm going to be waiting until the first or second week of January, depending on the environment. I think the first week of January, we'll get the live account cracking off there. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Robert says, great message about swearing. It's lazy and inappropriate. I mean, yeah, there's a time and place for it. Definitely is, right? But everybody can run their own show the way that they want. I appreciate to show you folks respect out there, and I appreciate you folks sharing your mornings with me and tuning in. It means a lot to me. And so, yeah, this is how we want to run the program here. I'm going to hold by winners today and see if it works. Good luck to you there, Tom. Way to go. Tomfoolery counter activated, added to the by golly and Skinner. I like that. So we are coming back down here a little bit. This is why we covered our position to the top side. It's not a hold and hope environment. Unfortunately, it's low liquid. Anybody catch a short from up there? I didn't put on a short. Obviously, we're sitting here. Didn't put on anything. Anybody catch a short? Did look a little bit exhausted, but like I said, we're in consolidation. Can kind of go either way. How much more discount do you get off the $49 combine through your link, Rips? It depends. If it's your very first one, you get an additional 20% off if it's your very first combine purchase through Top Step. Short from the overnight high. Good luck to you, Rooster. I did like that. That look was very, very nice. But, we want more. For me specifically, I'd like to see more confluence. Right now, the ones that are really having trouble holding up right now are Apple and Amazon. Apple obviously is the number one weight of the S&P and the NAS 100, so definitely can bring us down, can pull the weight to the downside there. But for me, I'm not seeing enough confluence for me to jump in just yet. So you can see here we are kind of breaking that ascending support. We did reclaim it. And this is where folks can get a little bit trapped in offsides. You think that, it's breaking that to the top side there, and you're just going to, it's all good now. It's going to hold above that. And, it may just go back above and hold that. But for me, on a low liquid environment, you need to see support showing up. You need to see certain areas of liquidity firming up their bids and et cetera. Same thing, gonna wait to trade my PA2. Yeah, I think that's very smart there, Josh. Jay Alexander says, I'm a streamer. I stream. I do the Okay, thank you. Do you mind sending the link? Yeah, here. That's the Nightbot will take care of you there. So there you go. Right there. Just click that link right there. Like to see these 30s hold now? Yeah, definitely. Do want to see these 30s kind of right up against that ascending support line there. And do keep in mind, this is a big overhead supply area here all the way running up to 77. So if this does continue to present some difficulty to the top side, remember, low liquid just suggests that we don't have enough players in here. And so if we're looking to blow out certain levels, obviously we're going to have a little small blowout like we had this morning. But you can see even that price action here, we have a little bit of a, let me go down to the 1 minute here. You have reversals in this price action, even though we're long and strong here off the open. You do have reversals in the price action here that can rinse you around. So you just have to be on your toes on a day like today if you are continuing to trade. It might just be one of those days where, hey, if we stack up 3-digit wins this whole week, that's what it is. It's not that big of a deal. If you're sitting here with a very empty tummy and you're sitting here super hungry eyes and you're saying, I need to make 10 grand in this market. Yeah, sure, maybe you can, but you're probably going to have to lever into those moves. Why not wait for a better advantageous market where you don't have to size into it, where the market's going to run 100 handles for you up or down, and you can just park 3 lots in, and 100 handles on 3 lots is $6,000 in profit. So it adds up quite quickly. You don't have to put on a lot of risk to get the biscuit. They say you got to risk it to get the biscuit, but not in the NQ on very advantageous trading sessions. You can get 100 handles in the NQ, put on 1 lot. That's going to make you $2,000 there. That's not a lot of risk for a big old biscuit. 3 digits a day, they do add up. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Base hits add up. They really do. They really do. 844 is just shy of $20,000 in a month. What's an extra 20 grand gonna do for you a month? Ask yourself these questions. Don't be so focused on the singular day goal. It'll drive yourself crazy. I had the problem early on in my career. I'd have a massive, massive winning day, and then I'd have a following massively larger losing day because I would think head full of euphoria. I figured out this market thing, huge 5-figure, 6-figure winning days. And then the next day you give back 5-6 figures. And then the next day after that, another 5-6 figures. You go, what the heck is going on? It's a lot easier to just step up to the plate, hit those dingers, and life goes on. If you're focused on only swinging at the pitch, if it's going to be a home run, that's another thing. You get analysis paralysis, or you get size paralysis. You're waiting for a trade, and you're sitting there. You're like, well, is this is this the trade I'm going to put 15 lots on here? slow down. Let's talk about a one lot trade here. Is this the trade that's good enough for you to put on one lot? And I'm not talking about let's put on a try trade. Let me just try this trade out. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about get your sizing in line so you're sitting there and you're confident in your trade so that when it does go your way, you're letting it work, right? You're letting it work. $20,000 a month consistently for a few years is amazing. Hey, yeah, especially if this is in tandem with another source of income that you have, right? It all adds up. 15 lots or plus. Yeah. That's not how you should be looking at your trading. You want to be pumping the brakes. It's nice that you can work in the combine, switch to the practice account and keep experimenting and trying new techniques in trading. Exactly right. If you can't manage risk with one lot, then why trade more than one lot? Patience. All listen to Rips. He knows the shit. Oh, geez. You got me. Oh my goodness. You got me. Oh, geez. I was reading too fast. You got me. You got me. Well, that's not an FCC violation right there. Oh, you folks I knew somebody was going to get me eventually. You folks are the best. I gotta say it. Out of all of this is the best community. This is the best community. Right back at you. There you go, Grateful Trader. Oh man, unsubscribe. Hey, at least we're having fun in here, right? Even when we don't have trades on, at least we're having a good time in here. Well, Grateful Trader, you did it. Yeah. But as we were saying, only focus on trading the small amount of lots here. Because if you're focused on trading this massive size, you're not going to be able to manage your position. If you can't consistently hit dingers on one lots, what makes you think all of a sudden you sizing up to 5 or 10 lots that all of a sudden it's going to start working? And don't have that fear that all of a sudden if you're going to be trading on 1 and 2 lots that you're just going to miss all the good trades. Don't have that fear. The market's going to be here for a very long time. This is not like a cyclical market like small caps where it's like, oh, this day only has this opportunity. If you don't nail this opportunity, it's gone forever. NQ is always going to present you with opportunities. I promise you. I promise you this. It will always have opportunities for you. So, just be patient. Rips, I'm in another group and I watched you on Top Step TV and was like, man, I need to look at this guy. He's so smart. I'm learning so much from you. Thank you, Tesla. Appreciate you. Thank you. Bart says, single contract can pay you more than most jobs. They're so strong. And also, too, if you're managing one lot, psychologically, you're going to be able to handle it a lot more. You're going to let those winners run a lot longer. And you don't have to size into a move and get super scalpy. I know that I'm a momentum trader and I scalp from time to time. But, as you could see on that last trade there, we're letting it work. We're trading smaller size. We're letting things work. It's okay. If you don't know what tilt is, add 15 lots and don't set a stop. Yeah, that's how you blow up real quick. Ribs, you have to wear a cursing hat like the ugly Christmas sweater. Yeah, we'll make sure that's the last time we ever do that. That's never going to happen again. If we do, we can always say, holy sh**, just like that. And we'll always make sure that we have the bleep button ready. More importantly, you don't end up kicking your dog when one lot goes. Well, you should never be doing that. Ribs, I switched to your channel from Top Step TV. Better here. Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate you tuning in here. No. Yeah, don't kick any animals, please. GPY says, hello, Ryan Reynolds' cousin. Hello, yes, indeed. It's Rips Reynolds. Rips Reynolds in the house here. Short 37, stop 58, take profit 3. Nice work there. Music, good luck to you. Yeah, I like this up at 37 level as well. But again, I do expect consolidation here. I'm waiting for that 10 a.m. hour to hit, and then we'll see if we hang out here or probably go back over to the Discord and see if we could trade for, another 30 minutes or an hour. Shaw. I can't say that. What's your lot size? It depends on the trade. On the last trade we took, we traded 3 lots. On the trade prior to that, we got up to 7 lots, but that was on a quick little flipper. We took 7 lots, ran 3 down to 2, down to 1. So, momentum trading that one. Extremely bullish tweezer bottom on ES. Let's check it out here. What's the time frame there? Daniel, what's the time frame? Let's see, probably 15. Oh, wait, what? Yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. Hello. Right here, right? 15 minute, 5 minute. Okay, let's see. Probably on the 15 as well. Yeah, we got, double tweezer bottom there. I knew I recognized you from somewhere. I loved you in The Proposal. That's a great Christmas movie. That's a fantastic Christmas movie. You could be in movies too, trading movies. Yeah, man, yeah, we'll see. We're having our own trading movie in here every single morning. Trading the NQ parts 1 through a million. Any chance you could say anything about the cost of trading, opening, adding, closing positions? Yeah, you're gonna pay fees. So let me show you what the fees look like on Top Step. We'll load up the old commissions here. Here we go. Let's see. Go to Top Step. And let's see here. Bring this on over. So that's the commissions look like for Top Step here. And I just have the ES, MES, MNQ, and NQ. 213 per turn, 71 cents per turn on the micros, and on the minis, 213 per turn. So you're looking at 426 for a round trip there for your commissions. Who asked that question there? Gregors. That's what we're looking there. And this is the NinjaTrader profit a commission template rather for NinjaTrader there. So there we have it. 213 aside for the minis and 71 cents aside for the micros. Yep. So there's that 10 a.m. liquidity came and went. Nothing really happening there. We do have data coming out here. Let me switch over to NQ again. We do have that data coming out in, let's see here, at 10:30. 10:30. Rips, I want to join your team for TTL. Oh, yeah, the Top Step Trading League. Will you have like a competition to see who makes your team once Top Step releases the league? Yeah, we're going to do some fun things in here. We're going to have a lot of, that's why I say 2024 is just a great time to be a futures trader. It's going to be a lot of fun, whether you're trading on Top Step or one of these other funded companies. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited about 2024. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It sounds really cool. The idea sounds amazing. TTL sounds incredible. So yeah, maybe we'll run a draft in here and see who's the best of the best amongst our fun crew in here. And it could be a lot of fun. I'm very excited about it. There's a lot of things in 2024 that seem very exciting. And in fact, I mean, just the trading environment alone is very exciting. The fact that we're trading in an election year is going to be, I'm super excited about that alone. So we long or short today, we took two longs. Haven't taken any shorts there, Aaron Jackson. Need to steal my daughter's Christmas money to join Clubhouse. Well, we do Clubhouse giveaways on Friday. Maybe you can get lucky, get a free month of Clubhouse. We'll do another raffle here on Friday. Maybe we'll give out a couple of those. So, Rips, I show no news at 10:30. I am looking at 10:30. We have the Dallas Fed manufacturing activity. Let me see if they put it in the schedule here for economics. Let's see here. Yeah, it's showing up here in Trading Economics, the calendar here. This is the free one that I recommend. That's the free one. Made a small profit today, 7%. For starters, I still don't know the market well. Hey, nice work there, Sergio. Learning how to put one on and take one off from you. Usually by myself, I was just putting them on and letting them stay till stop or TP. Yeah, I like trailing my stop underneath, usually for my runners, or it depends on the situation. When we're hitting certain targets of liquidity, I'll peel some off if I'm holding larger size. But I like to trail my stop from underneath if I'm long, and then from overhead if I'm short. I like to trail my own stop. And, it's a skill that the more you practice it, the better that you will get at it. And that's what has worked for me. That's what's worked for me. Rips, I show no news. Yeah, so check out that, it was Yaya. Check that out there, the economics calendar as well. So yeah, let's see what they're saying here on the preview. What are we expecting here? The prior was negative 19.9. The forecast is negative 20.5. Let me see if I have the same forecast for my folks over at the Bloomies. They're not posting it yet. I don't know why they don't have the analyst expectation yet. Rips, you remind me of Vinny Barbarino. Calm, cool, and collected with the great hair. I'm not sure. Let me see. Who's Vinny Barbarino? Let's see here. Vinny Barbarino. I like that name. Let's see. Okay. Welcome back, Connor. There you go. Vinny, I need the moulet. I need to have a nice moulet back here. I was like, I recognize that name. That's the old school one right there. Welcome back, Cotter. Oh, man, that was the jam. For my old school folks in here who used to watch the old school shows there. That was the jam. They don't make sitcoms like that anymore. They really don't. Those were the classics. Yeah, that was like a blast from the past. I'm like, Vinny Barbarino, it sounds super familiar. Chess Trader up another $100. Hey, there you go, Chess Trader. Yeah, this is a little bit painful here. Good morning, this is my first time watching you. How do I get into Discord and what are the fees? Here, check it out right here. Let me drop this for you. There you go. Michael says, good morning. This is the same person. Are you seeing liquidity on Bookmap? And if so, can you show us an example, please? Sure. Let's go over and do it. Let's have a gander here. So again, when you're seeing this kind of liquidity stack that is this wide apart, you got to assume that those are liquidity providers. So even if we slam down into that level, you probably see bids being pulled. If we jumped up into that level, you see asks being pulled there. But you're not going to see a clean move up to the top side because somebody there is going to be providing liquidity and they're going to chunk it in large orders, which is kind of what you see here. So you see, as we are coming up to the top side here, you can see these bubbles here that cap off the momentum are large. So this move right here where they tried to send it up to the top side, this is a very good example. So I want you to focus, the folks out here, I want you to focus on this area right here. So on that bubble, it's showing me 471 contracts of volume. So what does that mean? So we were pushing up. We had to pull back. We pushed up again. We couldn't push up and make a new high. So we pulled back, and then you can see we consolidated and we had a fight to push back up to the top side. We had enough folks right there that capped off the price action, and algorithmically, those algorithms see that. Their AI that's programmed for that says, holy smokes, there's a lot of people up there that are selling that on the offer. So you can see this on Bookmap here as we spread it apart now. Let me zoom in here. You can see when we took this offer here, some algorithms that were not showing that because you can see it's flat liquidity. This is liquidity shown. This is no liquidity shown. The darker red, the darker orange that we're seeing, that's the size and the volume of liquidity that's being offered there. In this case, is the offer. This is the bid. So to the top side here, you can see there is no offer. That's a hidden order, AKA an iceberg order. And we're running into that. And algorithms see that and they say, hey, that guy or gal wasn't showing that liquidity there on the offer. And multiple algorithms see this and they go, hey, we got to sell that because somebody there is trying to stuff this. And then they all sell it. And then you can see the bid is heavy there, but then we snap through that with about 100 lot, and then boom, 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 boom. All of that is cascading. Those are liquidity providers jumping in saying, well, just in case we go back to the top side, we want to fill a little bit of there on the bid side. And you can see right here, big old chunk to the downside. We build that liquidity. It's not hidden. You can see it right there. It wasn't hidden. There's about, what was that? 150 lots there taken. Then you can see that chunks down into that, get a little bounce, and then we're back up entertaining that liquidity where we're repainting the inefficiency that we created to the downside there. So that's a little taste of how we're reading Bookmap there. Very confusing if you're just tuning in for your very first time, but if you're a trader and you've been doing this for a while, hopefully that made a little bit of sense there. Vivek says, good morning, Rips. I'm new to the stream and also new to Bookmap. I see that you have webinar archives as part of Clubhouse. Does that happen to include the Bookmap basics? It does. I have a 1 hour Bookmap webinar in there. You can see all the webinars that are in there that are right here. You can see all the webinars here. And again, you check it out for 7 days for $7. You can try it out for those 7 days. You can come in, cancel right away. So you only pay $7 and watch all the webinars and get all that. And again, I'm not promising anything here, right? These are just the webinars and how I understand things and the content that I put out. You can go anywhere and get all of this information for free. You can read it in books. I didn't come up with, I'm not this, this is not magical information here. You can spend your time and go on YouTube and probably find all of this information all for free. Do all of your own research, but this is me presenting this information to you that has worked for me. That's all this is. I'm not promising that if you watch all these webinars, you're all of a sudden going to be a great trader. I'm not saying any of that. It's just that you come in here, there's educational material. We have a great community here in the Discord. We also have a zero latency live stream. So here on YouTube, there is a little delay that I can't get over. It's between 1 and 5 seconds, depending on where you are in the world. But you come in, you have the community, you have the zero latency live stream, and then you have the access to the webinar archive. And in January, we're going to be pushing out a lot more webinars. We're going to have a lot more content, and it's going to continue to grow. So if that seems valuable for you, go ahead and check it out. If not, then still hang out here in the YouTube and catch it all for free, right? And that's really what it is. Tim says, if I watch them all, will I get your hair? Yes, absolutely. That's the one promise I will make. No, unfortunately, no. Are you trading your live funded account on Top Step? Not right now. We're probably gonna wait until next week or later this week if liquidity starts coming in. Maybe on Thursday where we have a lot of liquidity events. I think the channel needs a hair tutorial. Yes, exactly. The liquidity that showed up, is that from the black book, the money that isn't shown on the market? It's not, it's not called black book. I don't know. I've never heard that term before, black book, but it's hidden liquidity. There's algorithms that can run hidden liquidity. So you only have to show one lot. And then behind that is an algorithm that works in more lots at that level. The moment that one lot is taken, they show more and more and more and more and more. And it's done again, nanosecond level here. So there's algorithms that are doing these hidden orders. That's how they're hidden orders. So bald lives matter. But yeah, it's all algorithms and all that fun stuff that's sort of driving things around here. it's retail is a very small piece of this picture. And in a session like this, you can see how wide we're getting now in, these sweeps of liquidity. You see how thin they're spreading this. And when we get these sweeps to the downside, that's usually when I'm looking for an exit door. That's usually when I'm probably looking to lock up because, the advantage is dissipating pretty quickly there. And it's not going to, offer us any future amazing trades. So I will probably lock it up here. We've been going for what looks like 2 hours here on YouTube. I will be back tomorrow here with you folks on YouTube bright and early at 8 a.m. sharp. I'm going to continue hanging out in the Discord here probably for another 30 minutes to an hour, see if we have any other trades here to take at 10:30, but the likelihood is probably pretty low. But yeah, that's going to wrap up things here for YouTube. I will be back again bright and early tomorrow at 8 a.m. sharp. I hope to see everybody there. And if you ever have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me either on Twitter or on Instagram. You can follow me right there at Sellin' Rips on Twitter and Instagram. And reach out there if you ever have any questions. Would love to chat. And if I don't see you tomorrow, hopefully we'll see you on Thursday or Friday. But we're locking it up here. Where do we end here? Go back over to Ninja Trader. Yeah, we're up $844. Small trade in the XFA and a little bit of $700 in the combine there. So great day on a slow day. Happy to make it happen. And I'll see you folks here in Discord in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. And folks on YouTube, I will see you bright and early tomorrow. Take care.